That's right. Very swiftly come round again, hasn't it? The old SaturDay for SaturJay RPG. But nonetheless, the truth is, it's been very quick. So welcome. We'll try and get Final Fantasy XIII launched with a bit of luck. Hopefully there'll be no issues, which, let's be honest, fully expecting them. One control, one game. Let's see if the two can combine to make something glorious. Chances are very slim indeed, but there you go. I'd of course love to open with the "How is everybody?" but I don't think anybody's here yet, so it's very difficult to open with a "How is everybody?" when nobody can answer. But nonetheless, Final Fantasy XIII, it's what we're gonna do. And a man's hope this week. You are here. Well, how are you, Butternut? How are you? A man's hope is his castle, and my hope is, one, my internet holds out. We've already done this one twice, in fact, because unfortunately we're just not progressing past a man's hope is his castle. But my hope is A, the internet holds out longer than 5 seconds, which I suppose arguably it has already, but you know, I'm being facetious. And then the other hope is that I can get past the box bastards again, because they were proving, shall we be generous and just sort of say they were proving troublesome. I'm tempted, but he is worse. I think I might stick with this grouping at the moment. I might change it up later, because I do like to try my best to rotate through my characters. Now, is this even remotely the right way? I think it is. Yes. No? Yes? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Because that way was a giant boss I couldn't handle. And then this way we managed to get a reasonable distance, but then there was a flanks. I think there was a flanks on this bridge, wasn't there? And it was just like... Yes, I mean, I would consider them robots. They are definitely mechanical of nature. So I'd put forth the phrase robots. Oh, blitzing. How does Snow blitz? I think we've only just recently got blitz. Oh, it's a big kick. Of course it is. Big sweep kick. That's how he blitzes. But he probably only the tail end of last week, because I don't remember him having blitz. Because I was expecting blitz previously, and he didn't do blitz. Which was alarming to me. I remember that bit. Ow. Probably best get some diversity up in this house. Possibly even. Never mind. It's fine. That's fine as well. That's alright. Zaz going down. It's to be expected. It's still 5 stars. Still 5 stars. They don't care if Zaz dies. Bit harsh, but true. The star rating has no shits given if Zaz is alive or down. Right, what we want to do is, I mean, ideally I want to get the back attack in on these guys, but they are just that tiny bit sort of, their movement is that tiniest bit more erratic than you would like it to be. Oh, careful, there we go. But they clearly have a reasonably limited field of vision, else they would have definitely caught me there. Because he was basically looking at me, and I managed to get away with not being caught, which I'm pleased by. Also, did Snow... Again, that must have been something I think I unlocked towards the tail end, because I don't remember Snow having the 5 ATB segments. And truth be told, I can't remember. I think they do get a 6th. And there's 2 reasons. There's 2 reasons why I think they might have a 6th. One of those reasons is simply the fact that if you take that bar and you consider the idea of that bar being central, and I know it's not, just looking at it as it is right now, you can see it's not central. However, if you just take one more ATB segment onto the ATB bar, that would make it central on the screen, which is what makes me think there might be a 6th segment. I often do that I do that a lot with... I wonder how many characters are left to find. And if you assess sort of how they've laid out their menu screens, you can sometimes sort of go, yeah, look, that's the exact size of a portrait left in the corner there. Which makes me think, by Jove, there is going to in fact be a little portrait. I think that's just a treasure chest, isn't it? In fact, yeah, it is, because as much as they like to hide enemies around corners, they can't, because the enemies are almost always red dots on the map. So it's not like they can actually hide anything from me. But yeah, it's quite amusing seeing how much information you can glean just from sort of assessing the UI elements. I don't know why it's making me chuckle quite so much. It's just, I don't know. It's just it's a peculiar sort of weirdly esoteric-y type thing to be able to sort of call. I'm calling this piece of information as being true simply because I've done some measurements on the UI screen. Not always. It doesn't always work out. There are occasions where it's like, oh, they didn't do anything with that space they've got there. They just have a big space there. That's weird. Or you discover, of course, one of the things they do sometimes is, of course, they have the top three like portraits of the party, and then the sort of lower three portraits of the party are just off to one side. So you thought, well, yeah, that wouldn't quite work out because it wouldn't show it. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but say maybe like if you have four portraits at top, and then you assume when you've only got four party members, you sort of assume that there's going to be another four because the UI would fit another four underneath, and then when you discover the fifth party member, it's just off to the side, so it's central to the two above it, and you suddenly go, oh, that probably means there's only 7. And it's slightly disappointing because, I don't know, I'm a sucker for characters in a game. I love it when you get the new character come in, because it's like, especially if you've never played the game before, because you don't know what to expect from them, and it's like, oh, are you awesome? No, you're a dickhead. Oh, I was looking forward to that, now I'm disappointed. Not always. Not always the case. A lot of the time they crop up and it's like, holy surprise character. I do remember there's a sort of, I don't think he's secret as such, but there was an extra character turn up in Shadow Hearts 2, and when I first played Shadow Hearts 2 it was like, what is this? I do not know what this is. How? I thought I had all the characters. And it's like, oh, no I don't. This is awesome. This is a new guy. And he's just as awesome as the main lead character. Oh my god. That's fantastic news. Because he really is. But I think it's like, I think Shadow Hearts 2 might have been 2 discs. I might have made that up. And you sort of almost expect that most party members would be established and well in there by the sort of end of the first disc, and yet no, suddenly, out of nowhere, there was this extra character, and it's like, whoa, hello, you're awesome, colour me happy, whatever the colour of happiness is. I don't know, red? Although that tends to lead to anger and passion rather than happiness, perhaps. No, I can't deny. Yeah. What does the Ether Soul do? Restores the top party's TP. Okay, that's unnecessary. Hello, Scarlet Carla Bear. Yellow is happy, do you think? Fair enough. Oh, well, that's convenient. I don't know. It probably isn't anywhere else. I don't know if it's, you know, it might be one of those randomly generated colours, but apparently, if yellow is happy, welcome, Scarlet Carla Bear. You must be happy. A, because of the happy face, and B, because your text on my screen, at least, is yellow. Or your name tag is yellow, not your text, as such. Right, let's take down one of these hoplites. Now let's focus our efforts on the boxed phalanx, because we need to get rid of him, otherwise we're just going to keep getting just constantly swarmed. But how are you, Scarlet Carla Bear? I get there eventually. It's not always the thing I think of immediately because I'm usually distracted by the game. But you know, every now and again I get to the how are you bit early doors. Oh, hey. There's nobody. Oh, Vanille. Techniques renew. I mean, I suppose I could. If I really needed to, I suppose I could go full on. I do think I might need to. Oh, god damn it. I don't really want to have to summon the Shiva Sisters for a random encounter. But I feel like the game is about to demand that I summon the Shiva Sisters for a random encounter. No, okay, we're actually not doing terribly. Oh, for Saint Vanille. Can't take you anywhere. Do I burn more TP? Oh, do I burn a Phoenix down? I suppose I can probably replace Phoenix downs relatively easily. Not phenomenally easily. Although, having said that, I think I have a shitload of cash now. But that's not the point. Oh, for pity's sake, Saz and Vanille, why do you not have life spell? I really need you to be better, please. Oh, she does have life spell. Oh, I'll shut the fuck up then. I'm sorry, Vanille. I'm sorry for doubting you, Vanille. I didn't mean anything by it, Vanille. I appreciate your efforts, Vanille. You are technically the one that keeps us all alive in general. But, yeah. I need... What you need to do is get rid of these the buffs these fuckers have got. But, in order to get rid of the buffs these guys have got, bloody... need to go into sabotage mode. Bullion sabotage mode might not go amiss. With a bit of luck. Are you going to dispel? Yeah, that'll do. I'm tapping again because I'm getting impatient. But we have clearly, went up north there, I think. Where is it? Manchester, is it? It tends to do that one. Oh dear. Oh, I'm hoping in a most horrible and nasty fashion, I'm hoping that is your signal and not my signal. Only in the sense that, only in the normal sense, it's selfish. It's selfish prick syndrome, but, you know. But yes, do feel free to catch me next time. I am always here. You may not hear this bit, but I'm always here. 4:30 BST on a Saturday afternoon for SaturJay RPG, where we are currently doing Final Fantasy XIII. There you go, that was almost professional. And you know what? If you just stuck with that bit, and not the, I hope it's you that's fucked, not me, you'd have actually been a decent human being. But, you know, you've never really managed to accomplish that one, have you? No. Shit human being. Inhuman being. Some form of alien. Oh. Fire. Well done. You've just harpooned your way to following a new streamer. So it's getting a bit more professional each time I have to say it. So you never know. By the time I reach like 1 million followers, I might actually have that down pat and be able to sort of relay it every time. Boom. But I do like that. I genuinely like hearing that noise. In a sort of double way. Because obviously, in one way, it means someone's gone, I'll follow this guy. And that pleases me. But in the other way, it just pleases me to hear things from Skies of Arcadia. Because I love that game. For anybody unaware who is in the chat, Skies of Arcadia, I will almost always declare as my favourite game of all time. You know, the point blank #1 game that I love. And it's because, I don't know, it's not necessarily the most technically sound RPG out there. It's not, you know, it's not the greatest of graphics either. It's just, I don't know, it's got that sense of wonder and adventure and flying boats. And it was one of my first, I think. It was one of my first. And I think that does help, doesn't it, really? Let's be honest.
Yes. do. They grew all over Eber.
We can't be far now.
I think, is this...
I remember everything.
Vice, with a V. V-Y-S-E. The lead character is Vice. Can't remember his surname. Oh, Dine, I think. Or is that just the father's first name? But yeah, he might be Vice Dine, which is a weird name, but I can't remember his surname. You don't tend to... You don't often sort of do surnames in RPGs that often. Or, well... I mean, Final Fantasy VIII you definitely did, because you had Squolian Heart, Zeldinkt, I think it's something along those lines. But yes, this is a pretty cool summon, this one. This is Vanille's summon, if you were wondering. It's the last one. So yeah, I think all this time, Vanille's been trying... Yeah. So I think Vanille's been suggesting she was the one who did Ragnarok, but the truth is Fang did Ragnarok. Which, to a certain extent, might explain why Fang can't remember anything, and yet, of course, Vanille can. So in this fight, I don't know what we've got for starters. Okay, Saboteur and Sentinel might work. Oh, actually... It might work well. We've certainly done some de-shelling and some imperiling. But yeah, this is Hackentucker. I think it's Hecaton Care, which, interestingly enough, I believe is one of the ones that appears in... It's one of the moves Keith does in Shadow Hearts 1, which is a useless piece of information, but a piece of information nonetheless. But yeah, he's just got like 1,000 arms or something, which I think is, in fairness, that is kind of in the lore. I think Hekon... I need to see the name again. I can't say it without seeing it, and I can barely say it when I see it. Hekon Tenker, I believe, in its original sort of mythos type stuff. You are definitely all sunshine, Vanille, let's be perfectly honest. You are sickening levels of sunshine. I think I might be fucked, though, is the slightly concerning thing here, because I have not done anywhere near enough doings here. In fact, I think Miss Sabat... Oh, I also just died, so that's a thing. Greek mythology, do you think? I mean, I must admit, I wouldn't have known it. That was Greek. I wouldn't have known, like, known. But I wouldn't have... I certainly don't dispute the notion that it's Greek mythology. And I also, you know, it wouldn't surprise me either if that is 100% true. But yeah, I'm fairly certain it appears in Shadow Hearts, and it appears all over the place, I think, as well. Right, so I suppose now we can sort of do paradigms, which does make me wonder... I wonder if it would be worthwhile having double Sabotage. Because Sabotage did seem to be doing quite a lot, it's just I had to end up moving out to Medic. What else do you have? I mean, we can pop that sort of Divide and Conquer back. I don't necessarily think it's going to make that much difference or be that useful. And we can have War and Peace available as well, but... Yeah, I didn't really seem to do much to it. It felt like the meter was going up, but then it was like, shit. And it was like the meter just stopped, which is alarming. But I think it was going quite nicely for Sabotage, which is what's making me wonder if maybe it's worthwhile double sabotaging, which... possibly a little bit... Yeah, no, it's definitely not worth it, because apparently, not entirely sure why, but Fang seems to have stalled out on the idea of actually doing anything, which is good news. But I think if we just keep hindering, and maybe this time don't heal Fang, Take the risk that Medigard... Maybe Medigard Fang. Medigard Fang. Please, Medigard. It's interesting. I think you saying it's Greek makes me think I may have had a conversation regarding Hecatonkir based on, I wonder if he's in Smite. I cannot say that with any real certainty, but I do just wonder, is the fella in Smite? Because I do think I can't really have Fang die, because if Fang dies, I'm kind of screwed. But we are sort of slightly higher up the bar, ever so slightly higher up the bar. But let's try and get more. I think Sabotage seems to be the best bet, because look at the way it's chunking up that meter, isn't it? Chunking up that meter. See, this is one of the few fights where actually what they've done, a few fights against the Eidolons, where they've actually done the idea that you want to use Vanille's specialty, i.e. Sabotage. Admittedly, most of her specialty for me nowadays is healing, but nonetheless, one of her original specialties is the fact that she was one of the only saboteurs until Fang turned up. But nonetheless, oh god damn it, I do just need a little bit more game, a little bit more, come on, please, please, please. Alright, fine, when I said a little bit more, I meant a little bit on the little bit more. There we go, got it. But yeah, so there's supposed to be this thing where you use their specialties against the Eidolons, because the Eidolons are built to be against them. It's a weird thing that thing turns into. Like, everything else seems to have some kind of, like, I don't know, like the Shiva sisters turn into an obvious motorbike. Bahamut turns into an obvious jet. Brunhilde turns into an obvious car. Lightning's one, Odin, turns into a mighty steed. And then Hope's Alexander turns into a castle. I mean, it's not quite along the same lines as vehicles per se, but it's nonetheless fairly obvious castle. Whereas this thing, I mean, Gundog is about as sort of reasonable assessment as I could suggest, because it really is like, I can't deny it, I thought it was more Scorpion in my head. I was remembering something a lot more Scorpion, but you're quite right. It does look more like a Gundog. Seeing it, you know, for real.
You already knew. You knew Ragnarok was the name of destruction.
It wasn't fair. You had to do all the horrible stuff. And I didn't have to do anything.
That is no reason to lie to me. You think that's what I want? You of all people.
Oh, Fang, you wouldn't hit Vanille. No, she wouldn't. Well, okay, jokingly.
Poor kid. You've had it rough.
Fang.
Listen, you're not alone anymore.
I'm so sorry.
Keep that up and you'll have me crying soon. We have a new family now. We stick together. You hear me?
You do slightly question, of course, but where the shit are the other ones? You know, we got a new family now, but I don't know where they are. They fucked off. The moment we got into trouble, the other 5, I think? Is it 5 people? No, 4. There's 6 in total. But the other 4, they just fucked off. We're in trouble. Never mind. We've gone wandering off to find some kind of, I don't know, something. We were just looking at the trees and the plants. Because Snow, weirdly enough, of course, was the first one to enter that area there. And yet, somehow, he just vanished, and it was Fang and Vanille alone. And I know, it's story mode. Story takes precedence over logic, but it is nonetheless, it is like, well, this is weird. Anyway, what I suppose we'll do, I don't like it at all, but what we'll do is I'll swap out, and I will run around as Vanille, happy-go-lucky. Good God, look at the fucking run cycle. And also, oh, you didn't stop making me do the dance. I didn't like the dance the last time you made me do the dance. Just no, I don't like dancing, please. And then, oh, I'm gonna do it again though, Vanille. Oh, no, please stop making me dance. I will never stop making you dance. I don't want to dance. But you have to dance. You have to dance for me. Oh, go on, I'll stop doing that now. But I don't know, for anybody who didn't see... Whoops, that wasn't intentional dancing that time. That was her. She did that by herself. She seems to have a certain level of sort of stickiness on her feet, I think, which is weird, because you push the button, and she hesitates and thinks about it for a little bit too long for my liking. A little bit too long. But yes, for anybody who'd missed it when I first was mucking about, if you have them sort of... If you're indecisive as to which direction you want to go, and you make them do the little indecisive dance, they will... Each and every single one of these people have a certain thing where they go, no, you're taking the piss. I'm not doing it. Fuck you. Right, I feel like they've definitely separated and are no longer targeting one another. So I think my best bet is probably going to be... Oh, I've forgotten who I am. Yeah, I'm Vanille. Oh dear. At some point, I'm hoping-ish that there is going to be a semi-decent reason to utilise Hekkentakir. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of that, but it's fine. The one benefit of just shifting party members between the three that you've been running, i.e. where I've literally just gone Snow for Vanille, your paradigms automatically shift round. So the actual paradigms stay the same, just obviously Medic is in the first slot and Commando's in the third slot. It's quite useful, in a way. I can't deny. I'm not one to use it that often, because usually when I change a party, I change a party. You know, what can I say? I walk in with no trousers, people look, and it changes the tone of the entire tone of the party. And I don't tend to get invited back. But in terms of Final Fantasy, I do like to throw everybody out and then bring in new people. And I do need to let Hope have a bit of a go. Oh dear, that was awful. Don't know why that was a 1 star, but it didn't feel like it was that bad or that slow. But never mind. I suppose I did. No, sometimes. I swear to God, sometimes with this bloody star system, it's just like they just make it. Oh, yeah. None of that.
It's okay.
Fairly certain you weren't facing this direction, and then you suddenly start. Although it is difficult to tell with these bombs. Oh yeah, you little prick! I will smite thee because you have a little prick. The cryohedron, not a bomb technically. But if you were unaware, this is basically the ice version of the classic bomb enemy in Final Fantasy. If you do look, bottom of the screen, third enemy along. I've not smote it yet. My little Final Fantasy VI Setzer version of me. Or the me version of Final Fantasy VI's Setzer. Is probably more accurate, because for anybody wondering, it is the sprite of Setzer, just manipulated slightly to be me, or more me, rather than literally me. But nonetheless, the third monster in from there is a bomb, and you may be thinking, those cryohedrons look nothing like it. And that's because they don't fully, until they start building their sort of parts up and expanding their body. at which point they do start looking a little bit more reminiscent to the traditional bomb. We did discuss this previously, but I'll go, you know, I'll run through it a second time, it's not a problem. But I didn't like them at first, and then they sort of grew on me. It was a bit like, it was a bit of a sort of culture shock, where it was like, what the shit, that's not a bomb! That's no bomb! And then it was like, oh, no, it may not be a bomb, but it is. It is, however, it is if you let it get far enough along, which you don't really want to, because it will explode in your face. If you let it expand too much, it will explode in your face. But that's just life, really, isn't it? Is it? Depends on your lifestyle. But, yes. I do quite like these rust. Yeah, they are actually called rust puddings. Not to be confused with rice pudding, because you wouldn't want to eat that thing. But they've got a nice sort of, I don't know if this picture, oh yeah, it will actually. They've got a very nice texture on them, haven't they? Because you can really see that's sort of like the ooze has rusted. That's why they're called rust puddings. But, yeah, gotta admit, the pudding enemy, just in general, all of these sort of flans and puddings and all of them, what is it, the tomatoes as well, they're all just so beautifully textured. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, kind of come to expect that from Final Fantasy games, really, haven't you? When they were working in pixels, everything was a beautiful pixel art. Now they're working in 3D, everything's a beautiful texture. Now, they're very much not a surprise as such, but it is still, I don't know, it's often worth noting nice things. Da 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 da. Go! Calling them flans and puddings always makes me wonder what they taste like. A lot of them, it's like you don't want to lick that. Definitely don't want to lick that. Like the rust puddings, I reckon they probably just taste like rust. And I don't think you really need rust in your tongue. Ever. But I can't deny, like, the tomato ones, can't remember what they're called, but they're a variation of the flan. Let's see if I can just find a quick, I'm assuming others. No. Seath? No. Feral creatures, that's what we're after. Flan. Types of flan. Is it just the flan? No, there you go. There's the standard flan, which looks a little bit like a creme brulee, I think, but that might just be me. Big creme brulee, even bigger creme brulee. Rust puddings. Flandragora! That's the ones. Yeah, they look like tomatoes. So you do wonder, to a certain extent, if squeezing those is how you get ketchup on your chips. But there's an even bigger and uglier version of the Flandragora, and then, oh, that's just a glowy one. Yeah, they just glow. Alchemic. And Ecto Pudding! Which, you know, that one you definitely don't want to be licking. I don't think, anyway. You want to leave that one to the Ghostbusters, because they can then get sort of covered in it, and it'll be a fun time at the end of the film. In fairness, no, he gets covered in slime as ectoplasm a lot throughout that film, doesn't he? Right, let's just... I realise I've missed a save point. I am not going insane. I kind of want to explore this little area here, because thank you, game. Well done. You've finally done the right thing, game. And I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Oh dear, what can the matter be? The whole game is struggling because that fucking thing's running around below me, I think it might be the issue. Whenever that turns up, the computer goes, no, he's too big, mate. He's too big, can't do it, can't handle it. Right, whereabouts do we want to go versus where can we go? Alright, so I think that's another big chunky robot boy, but I don't think it's the same big chunky robot boy. It looks like the same big chunky robot boy, but I'm not 100% convinced it's going to be the same big chunky robot boy. However, I am willing to be proven wrong. So we'll have a quick go. I don't know whether we got the back attack or not there. Very difficult to see if he's done the warning sign when you can't see his face. So it is a Juggernaut. It's not... doesn't... Oh, okay, no, that second that second wave of fire really did feel like it actually completely screwed me. So that's good. Let's get some cures rocking. Oh, yeah, of course, I can't see the enemies. Oh, no, okay. I think this is... I get the distinct impression it is the same as the chunky boy I lost to last time, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot of health. Yeah, I think maybe we might just pop out of that one and go. Nah, let's walk around you. Let's walk around the giant robo boy. Eventually, I will probably be in a state where I can defeat those giant robots. That is not how I'd intended to say that word. But there you go. It just sort of happened. They were not supposed to be row your boats gently down the stream. Ah, cock. Is that part of the rhyme? Row your boat gently down the cock. Belts off, trousers down. Isn't life a crock of shit? Yes. Got a little bit real towards the end there, didn't it? Let's go back to happy nonsense instead of slightly too real levels of isn't life a pile of dolloping shite. But yeah, where were we? Robots, not rowboats. I genuinely didn't know I was going to say rowboats when I started that sentence. Oh dear, get some heals going. Oh dear, what can the matter be? I've just been iced in the lavatory. Which does sound a bit too much like I've just been killed in a toilet, which, in fairness, I know a lot about that. For those wondering. I'm sorry, can we just have a clarification on what the fuck you mean by that? Over doing several YouTube videos, I built a reputation for always ending up in toilets. Somehow, some way, every game I played, everything I did, I always ended up in a toilet. Somewhere on the line. I think it's because it's an unfortunate coincidence of... So, in Crusader No Remorse, I'm fairly certain you can end up in toilets. Quite easily. Because there's toilets all around this sort of... the facilities you venture through. And then I think it followed me into... potentially into the Bond game, James Bond Bloodstone. Because again, because it's set in real-world buildings and stuff, of course there's going to be some toilets, and you can follow these people in and you know, kill them in a toilet. And then of course Hitman Agent well, he is Hitman Agent 47, but that's the first game, I believe. Whereas the one I played was Blood Money, and in that, of course, you go in and it's like, yep. I'm gonna just follow this man into a toilet and take his clothes off of him. And in fairness, you do that a lot in the newer version of Hitman as well, I think. Although I haven't gotten around to playing those three. I must try. It's one of those ones where you suddenly realise sometimes, I don't know if anybody else has had this, but you look at it and you go, the first Hitman sort of reboot game came out, and it was like, I really must play that. And then the second one came out, and it was like, I really must play the first one. And then the third one came out, and it was like, fuck, there's 3 of these now. Shit. I really, really need to get around to playing them. Because those 3, I suppose arguably they were relatively quick in general terms, but they felt quick to market in sort of... I seem to miss them every time, but still, maybe one day, hopefully one day, at some point, I will play. So I'm assuming, do I have, yeah, I have their information, and of course, their ice baby, they're for natürlich, it's German for naturally, I think, anyway, 99% certain. There's always room for idiocy wherever I say anything that I claim to be a fact. Which I've gotten confused. Yeah, sort of. There was an element of being able to guess there, and I do know, in fairness, I have gone the wrong way there. There was an element of intent behind that, but also not quite so much. Oh, Rusty Ooze versus one lone bomb. Which, I don't know. Whoops, okay, no, I've attracted them. You can sort of see the face on the bomb there. It's kind of weird. He looks so sad, doesn't he? But, well, I suppose he is being attacked by 3 fucking rusty slimes, which sounds like a euphemism, doesn't it? Oh, I've just had an attack of the rusty slimes. I'm going to get rid of the cryohedron because it's going to blow up in my face otherwise. But yeah, I don't know. There's just something about its sad little face. Can we see? Yeah. I don't have any friends, and I've just been attacked by some rusty slimes. Pity me, the poor cryohedron. I don't even have any numbers. I've never rolled a 20. I feel like I've only ever rolled 1. Anyway. sad face cryohedron aside. Let us take down the rusty puddings. Oh, I think rusty pudding may sound like even more like a euphemism than rusty slimes. I've got my rusty pudding. Would you like a little bit of my rusty pudding? It depends on what you mean by rusty pudding. Oh, you know. If you know what I mean. I don't, because you don't actually mean anything, do you? No, I haven't really decided what it's a euphemism for. I just think it sounds like a euphemism. I feel like maybe it might be a medical condition. Have you had a severe case of the rusty puddings? It inevitably comes down to some form of defecation illness, doesn't it? Have you got a rusty pudding? Come see your arse doctor. He can fix your rusty pudding. Well, I've managed to make myself chuckle enough to shake the screen, which is not difficult in fairness, because
We're almost there.
if any part of my body is touching the desk and it moves, invariably the screen starts shaking. But it is still a bit sort of like, oh dear, you're shaking your screen because you're laughing too much at your own stupidity. Sad, really, isn't it? Really sad. Like a little loser boy. Good. Right, now what I'm trying to do... Oh, never mind, it's dead. Cool. Fuck that then. I think it's because Snow... Now that Snow's a commando with Blitz, he can get those chain gauges to stagger a little bit easier when it comes down to getting in there and doing the back attack. So it has become... Oh... Billy, bullshit. Don't be a fool with your life. Right, so ideally what I want to do, I don't know, is actually... Because I feel like the getting rid of at least... no, I want to break the boxed phalanx. Yeah, I want to break the boxed phalanx. Get rid of that. And if I can, just trash it immediately, because, well, it's now staggered, so it's taking more damage. And without a boxed wanker, the hoplites are vastly easier. Oh yeah, they are. Because even if they've buffed themselves, they're easier to deal with because they don't have the orders, and I think it's the orders that kill me. Because I think, I'm not 100% sure because I've not been paying enough attention. But what I think is the primary issue with hoplites and a boxed phalanx is partially what I was referring to last week, which is if you leave the boxed phalanx, he will summon more hoplites. So if you kill the hoplites and leave the boxed phalanx, you just get inundated with hoplites. If you with the hoplites, you just end up getting the bloody boxed phalanx screwing you over with its orders. But I think the worst part of the orders is the fact that the order is kill that one. And it picks a party member, usually bloody Vanille, of course. But it does sort of go, kill that one, and all of the hoplites will go, I will bash you, I will bash you, I'll bash you. Which is where the problem lies. But getting the old back attack is always worthwhile and helps out no end. Which is why I was looking up my different things, because Deceptor Soul, I can go invisible basically. I don't use them that much. I will just say they are available to me at any point in time, but I don't tend to use them. I know it's daft, but it's one of those age-old ones where I want to try and save them for the really big things that I really will need a back attack on. And I know that's kind of like, well, isn't the thing that you lost to last week and started losing your temper to, don't you think maybe, just maybe... Oh, there is an examine that keeps appearing and disappearing. Hey, oh, there it is. No. Ah, okay, so it's that, whatever that is. And I think this is the story, otherwise it wouldn't have faded to black. Oh, do we get to do another Hope in the Machine again? Yes, I think we do. I suppose arguably, they probably got here and they went, you know that bit of gameplay we built? Do you want to do that again? Because otherwise it's a bit of a waste, isn't it? It really is. Whoa!
Get out of there.
Oh dear. Oh yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, I knew we travelled on that thing. As I say, I'm fairly certain, whether it's been established or not, I am relatively convinced this is Atomos. Which is another recognisable... Nobody knows, because they apparently are saving the child, which is slightly confusing, because it's like, why? Why are you saving the child? Is it just coincidence?
Go robot guys. Good lesson for us. Not even a mighty foul sea is a match for the power of teamwork. That is inspiration right there.
Zaz, you're making me feel sick.
Let's hop on Trailblazer here while we still have the chance.
Yes, there you go. As I say, I was fairly confident we were able to board the creature. As I say, my theory is it is the fallacy Atomos, but I might be mistaken in that. I don't know why, but the name Atomos is... Oh dear, what can the matter be? The video game just shat in the lavatory. And by shat in the lavatory, I mean it shat up my machine. But, yeah, let's see. Is there any actual clue as to what it is? Whoopsie-doodles, whoopsie-day. Hey, there you go. Look at it. Look at it. Left-hand side of the screen. The key of items and, you know, whatever the fuck they are. Icons. Key icons. Icons of key. The key icons. The little swirly dirly birdie doodah. Atomos. Yeah. I know. The smallest of things satisfy me. I won't say I'm satisfied by my own penis, but I was thinking it. I was thinking it. But yeah, I'm oddly pleased that I recalled that this thing is Atomos. I don't know why. But yeah, for some reason you can just ride in it. So, makes no sense. But I suppose it makes for a pleasant adventure, doesn't it? Right, what do we want to do? Well, ideally... I do feel like I might be leaving here a little bit too soon. Which could prove a problem, but we'll carry on for now. I feel like... at some point there should be one of these sort of Seath stones that will allow me to teleport back. But I cannot guarantee this. Which is slightly... Oh, I remember this place. Bloody hell. Yeah, no, I remember this place. It's weird. Not the place is weird. It's the fact that I actually sort of really remember this place. That's the weird part. But I suppose the later on, I don't know, it's odd, because usually the earlier stages of the game are the ones I remember, because I've usually played them a good few times, because I don't always complete these games, unfortunately. Much to my lament, I don't always complete them every time I start them.
Just telling her that
But yeah, weirdly,
it'll be okay.
I just fully remember this location, which says one of two things. It's either going to be incredibly beautiful, and that's why it's stuck in my brain, or it could prove to be one of the biggest fucking arse aches in the history of video games, and that's why it sticks in the brain. I'm hoping for the first one.
Crying, hadn't you? Back when we first met.
Oh, day something.
Beautiful, and my focus was
Day
to
9, the seaside city of Bodom.
and wait to become a thief. But because I did nothing, others got dragged into this nightmare, and I was the one to blame. How's the scrape? What? Fine. Much better, thanks to you. Oh, sure you don't mind. I mean, I'm not keeping you from anything, am I? Not at all. Don't worry. I could sit here for hours. Hey, Sarah. Do you think we'll meet again? We might. Sure. See, the thing is, I was chasing after someone. And there's something I really need to apologize for. But I just can't ever find the words. Gee, that's gotta be tough, huh? Yes.
Traditionally, I'm sorry works quite nicely, but my apologies. That's another good one. You sarky git.
If it's too much to
Yeah.
deal with, face it later. Really? Sometimes things seem easier when you look at them from a distance, you know? But does that really work? Good question. I'll let you know. Actually, I've been trying to keep something at a distance myself lately. Like what? Don't laugh, okay? It's a dream I had. A bad one. I dreamt I destroyed the world. It was terrifying. I needed some time alone. It had me so scared, I tried to run away. But then, my boyfriend, he came chasing after me.
Well, he's a hero.
That's when I understood. Running away and leaving behind the people you care about? That isn't love. Though you might just want to keep them safe, shutting them out of your life only hurts them more. The point is, I have people I can count on. I'll make it through. I think you'll be fine. And you will be too. You'll find the words. I'm sure of it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What else can I say? I'm not the one you should be asking, Vanille. You'll know what to say when you find your friend. You'll see.
You mean you met Sarah?
I tried to hide our focus, and she ended up a lassie. I wanted to say I was sorry, but
Well, when we rescue her, maybe you'll get the chance.
yeah, I hope so.
Come on.
I saw the same vision of Ragnarok that we did. Which means Daisley had to be lying when he explained her focus. I think she beat it. She handed Cocoon over to us, and that's what made her turn to Crystal.
So if we can find a scapegoat, we can turn to Crystal as well. Let's find ourselves a scapegoat. Hopefully a small innocent child we can just, you know, con into taking on our focus. That'll solve all of our problems. Won't solve the child's problems, but it'll definitely solve ours. Well, actually it won't solve ours, will it? Because we'll turn into Crystal, and that's not going to help anybody. It's always the double catch of this bloody LaCie situation. Win, Crystal. Lose, or draw. Lose, and you turn into a monster. It's not a good. It's not a good system. Whoever invented the LaCie system is stupid. They've basically gone, do this, or I'll give you a stick. I'll give you a beating with the stick. Or, don't do it. No, wait. Damn it. Screwed up my own stupidity. You could never screw up your own stupidity. You're too stupid. Indeed. Libra, both of them, Ceratosaur and the fella. What I was trying to go for was the idea that if you win, if you lose, you get beaten by the stick. If you win, you get forced to eat the stick. Because I was doing a reference to carrots and sticks. It just didn't really come out in the right order, which is so often the way. That's why you have to have sort of like a J Dragon Fang dictionary, which basically just reverses all of the words in multiple different orders. It's devilishly similar. You can get away with using your Yoda dictionary if need be. They are similar. So you can do that. Such a derpy looking fishman. Fishman, hello. I'm gonna slap you with my fins, yes indeed. Oh, don't go anywhere. I'm gonna slap you with my fins now. I wanna slap you with my fins now. Good lord, they take a beating though, don't they? We've hit another area where I need several more levels in the sphere grid. Not sphere grid. Sphere grid? Playing Final Fantasy X now. Also, you don't get levels. You've combined all of the old mechanics. This is something completely different. It's a man with 3 buttocks. And you choose on which path of which buttock you wish to go and explore. Now, I need more crystals in my crystal points in my crystarium. Or I need more crystal points to add more crystals to my crystarium. Again, I remind you, rearrange the words and they work far more so than if you just take the sentence at face value. Ba ba ba, diddly dum dee doo. Oh, there we go. we've hit the first hour. The diddly dums have arrived. The diddly dums signify. They signify the first hour has commenced. It's a bit like Big Ben, but shitter. It's 1 hour in. A diddly dong, diddly dong, diddly dong. When we get to 2 hours, it'll be diddly dong, diddly dong, diddly dong, diddly dong. You always have twice as many diddly dongs as you do the hours you've been in. So 2 diddly dongs for 1 hour, 3 diddly dongs, 3 diddly dongs for 4 diddly dongs for 2 hours. Saratoraptor, yes, that's what we want. I believe, yeah, that's a special one. No, alright, get rid of the little ones first, and quickly. Because they're doing a number on me. Oh dear, come on Vanille. By come on Vanille, it's more come on me, because I am Vanille. I might not sound like it, but truly I am Vanille. You do believe me right, that I am in fact Vanille. Vanille is here, and I am she. Do 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 do. Keep punching, keep firing, keep shooting, or using fire, whichever one you fancy, mate. I'm not gonna tell you how to do your job. In fact, I am actually gonna tell you how to do your job. Keep firing, keep shooting, and keep healing. This is why I don't tend to be vanilla, because I don't like the responsibility of having to be my own healer. I much prefer letting the AI heal me, and then I can blame the AI if it all goes horribly wrong, because they didn't heal me quickly enough. Despite the obvious fact that I am sort of the general... Oh, here we go. Right. Yeah, I'm seeing. I should have gone with my instinct, really. I should have gone with my instinct. I had a feeling that if I left the Ceratopraptor... Oh, cock. We need... No. Buttons, please. Work with me. Not against me. Raise. Then... Cura, maybe. That'll do. I think the AI would have probably worked it better than I did, but still. Curaha. Jesus. Curaha. I think we might need to go bloody... what's in the not too distant future, because there's just quite a lot of creatures on the field. And this is proving troublesome. Christ, we are... Yeah, alright, I think solidarity. We're going to need a distraction technique via the use of a sentinel. That's why you always want to have a sentinel on hand. Get that Curaha going. That's what we need to see. Come on, Vanille, you can do this. Come on, Snow. I need you to actually do the sentinel business, mate. There you go. Good lad. Finally. I suppose, in fairness, it's taken him a long time to target all of the frogs with the provokes and shit. Right, here we go. We're starting to get back to a balanced health bar right now. Now he's taking a severe beating though. Vendetta, vendetta. Yes, you go, vendetta boy. I will vendetta you. Right, let's get back to shit kicking mode, where we need to clear out at least a couple of frogs before... Nope, never mind, I didn't do it. I managed to clear out one frog before having to change back to healing mode, but we'll do slightly more balanced heal damage mode and mostly hope that Vanille survives, because it's very awkward if she doesn't. It's interesting. I don't know precisely how some of these calculate, because I think Cure is a flat based on your magic power, perhaps, or it's not a flat, it's based on your magic power, and Curasa was based on your maximum health. But it's nice in a way to see the fact that you can still be using Cure in a sort of, reasonably tactical sense. It's viable to still be using Cure, because Cure is single target, whereas Cura is multi-target. There is no Curaga at the moment, at least. You do get Curasa, is proportional amount of damage target is taken. So once you start building your health bar up, it defaults back to using just Cure, which is interesting. And Curaha versus Cura, and then Asuna and Raise. But yeah, it's moderately interesting the way it works out, and it's quite nice. Sort of. Usually you'd get to sort of late game like this, and you'd be like, Cure? I'm never using that spell again. Because it just wouldn't have the punch required to actually heal you for enough. But in this one, it's all balanced in such a way that you can, you are basically still using most of your basic moves, even right at the end here. Audubon, have we? Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, they definitely looked familiar. It just wasn't 100% convinced that was the name last time, but you got to assume it was, since we've already got the scan on them. Ah, yes. Come on, please. There we go. Yeah. I very nearly sort of cut Vanille early, but unfortunately she didn't have them. I didn't have the wherewithal to do it before she just naturally started attacking them. I might check how much CP we've got, because I think we're probably... It's a rough guess, I'd say maybe we're in the 30 grands. vicinity. 30,000 CP available to me. And if it is around about the 30 grand mark, it might be worthwhile spending it, because we are... I mean, it's not... I don't necessarily think it's going to be a sort of a fight that actually finishes me off, unless I get very unlucky. But it is just that side of they're taking a long time to actually die. And I wouldn't mind trying to ideally speed that up a touch. Plus I don't know, I might try and look into the idea of perhaps putting in another team for a little bit. Wouldn't mind getting Fang back in there, because I like Fang. And I feel like Lightning should perhaps come back in as well, but Fang and Lightning are a bit too similar in terms of their their strengths. And then I really ought to put Hope in. But I am thinking maybe I'll... Oh, I'm now been stopped. Well, that's irritating, isn't it? Luckily, stop in this one is not... It can be a problem, of course. All of the status ailments, if they crop up at exactly the wrong time, can be a problem. But it's fairly quick. It's kind of like, you've been stopped. Now it's over. It's not sort of like, you've been stopped, and you've been stopped for a long old time. It really is sort of like, stop. Hammer time. I had to. I know, it was too easy. I couldn't help myself though. But, yeah. Most of the status elements in this version of Final Fantasy XIII, they are not too bad. Oh! Well, I said I wanted 30 grand. I've got 65. There's a little bit more. Sasha and Vanilla and Jon Snow. Yes, indeed. Or, I suppose, welcome to the news. I can't do an impression of Jon Snow from the news, but, I mean, in fairness, it's a bit much suggesting I could do an impression of Jon Snow from Game of Thrones, but, you know, bare minimum I can do a slightly sort of stereotypical up north. I'm Jon fucking Snow, and I'm gonna fuck your day up. It's just getting worse, isn't it? Just getting worse. Right, Saboteur. Yes. Sabotage by the Beastie Boys. Do you even like the Beastie Boys? Nope. I mean, talk about the Beastie Boys a lot for a person who doesn't actually like the Beastie Boys. I know. I genuinely... the worst the worst Proro. Yes, the worst Proro was the one where he just got his dick out for no reason. No, it wasn't supposed to be the worst Proro in the slightest bit. The worst problem with me always going Sabotage by the Beastie Boys is I don't know where I got it from. There is something out there. There is something out there where they go Sabotage by the Beastie Boys, and it's going to be some kind of British comedy. So maybe you can put me out of my misery, and you can go, this is where you got that from. But yeah, I just have that. I have this thing in my brain where it's like, yeah, no, I definitely got it from somewhere, but I don't know where I got it from. And no, Sabotage by the Beastie Boys I definitely didn't get from the TV series Proro. That I can be relatively confident about. I'm afraid R does not work here, my friend. It does not work here. Your car will be forever silent. You've put an extra strong muffler on that car, and it will be forever silent. It did work. What, the car or the muffler? Or are you pleased that I said your R's will be forever silent? Because it means you can no longer... the text to me, yeah. Your R's will be silent because you've not eaten enough beans recently. So your arse will be silent. I have a silent arse. You take a suppressor from a pistol and you jam it up your backside, and then when you fart it goes. Why it makes that noise, I do not know. Right, finally, a little bit more upgrading. I must admit, I usually do this at a save point, and the reason I usually do this at a save point is because you can then save it afterwards, and then you've not accidentally wasted your time if all goes horribly wrong. But on this occasion, I will have to just live with the fact that I'm doing it in the middle of nowhere. But I did have quite a lot of points, so I feel like it's not outrageous. And at this stage, because you're getting like lots and lots of CP and quite high boosted stats, doing it semi-regularly is not an outrageous plan of action, because it does like strength plus 20. Yes, it takes a lot of points to get there, but that's a pretty big boost. At least it feels like a big boost to me, anyway. Curasa, good. Well, you're catching up with Vanille, I suppose. Right. Cool. So let's figure out. So I think. You've watched this every weekend and you still don't understand. That's fair enough. So yeah, okay. We'll have you instead of you, and then maybe you instead of you. Which means we've got a saboteur. Technically he is a medic, but I don't like it. But I definitely don't want both Hope and Vanille in there, because I think that would be atrocious. So I think it might have to be lightning. Which means, unfortunately, if I do have to summon a creature, it's not going to end up being Heckantakir, which is a bit of a shame. But do I want to? We'll have this one for a little bit. Right, hang on. So, no, aggression is not something we want. What we want is, unfortunately, as much as... This is why you don't necessarily want Fang and Lightning in the team, because they do have a tendency to sort of... You wind up with Fang having to run Commando, and therefore Lightning ends up having to run Ravager. I say has to. I mean, that's a bit generous to suggest, but it's nonetheless sort of reasonably true that you do sort of end up having to have Lightning as primarily the Ravager, owing to the fact that... right, Synergist, and I want Saboteur for a bit of bully. Everybody loves a bit of bully in their life. So do we want to try a 2-medic one? Oh, we've already got a 2-medic one in Combat Clinic, so no, we don't. Right. Double Commando seems like a bit of a waste, but maybe Sabotage. I mean, technically, if I wanted a different party, I could run 3 medics, but I don't think that's efficient. It's not an efficient use of your doings, I fear. Scouting party seems reasonable enough, unless I suddenly have a brainwave, because, I mean, ultimately it's those 4. Those 4 are the ones I'm looking for. I don't like this team, so wait and see how well that ends up going. Just point blank said, I don't like this team. I don't like them. I must admit, and the other thing I think what I'll do is I'm going to run around as Fang, because I like Fang more than I like Lightning. Plus Bahamut's a bit more spectacular if I have to summon her. I don't often have to summon her. Bloody what's it? And in fairness, because I use the TP for Libra and Renew, I try to avoid summoning the Eidolon as often as is humanly possible. Which is a bit dull, because they're a spectacle to behold, and I absolutely adore them. It's one of those ones where it's not really hugely Oh, I've forgotten to change my thing. Or at least I think I have. I don't know whether this is sort of wrong place, wrong time, local wildlife. Yeah, as is any wildlife that ever comes into contact with us. Although having said that, they stand the best chance they've ever stood is right now with this team. Because, as I say, the team is horrendous. Although, I say the team is horrendous, we have got probably 2 of the highest damage dealers on the field, which is Fang and Lightning. They are definitely the premier kick the shit out of the enemy combo. Whoops, that's not the button I wanted. That's the button I wanted. Because what I've neglected to do is pop Relentless Assault as my primary default. I think really you almost always, if not quite literally always, want Relentless Assault as your first thing. Oh! I think this is something nasty. So why'd you... Sorry, can we just... If you were fairly confident that's something nasty, why'd you push the fucking button? Why'd you push the button and invite the nasty thing to come and fight you if you knew it was going to be something nasty?
Must think we came to stir up trouble.
Fang, and lightning.
We be heading off now?
Oh dear, what is that? And then,
Looks like it's a little late for that.
yeah, he's an angry little boy.
Confident too.
It should be clumsy out of the water. If we can get it to follow us onto dry land. Well, better than fighting a foul sea.
Okay, so I think... I wonder if that's meant to be Leviathan, since it's living in water. Can't guarantee that.
There's so many of them.
So yeah, it's fine.
Go figure.
Relax, mate. Relax. Dial it down a little bit. Dial it down. So yeah, I think that was exactly what I was supposed to do in fairness, so that's quite helpful. In a way, at least. Right, so... Where's your fancy new... Where are your fancy new islands? Well, there's one over there. There is a treasure chest there, that's alright. It is worthwhile going back here and dealing with these little creatures. I don't think you're going to get a back attack on them because they are basically on a tiny island. And the moment I land on the tiny island, they'll know I'm on the tiny island. Because it is, after all, a tiny island. There's only enough room for us and them. No. Get rid of the raptor first. In fact, get rid of the pair of raptors first. You never want to get some raptors. Yes! God damn it. I hate these raptors. They summon more raptors. Well, actually, to tell a lie, they don't summon more raptors. They summon more something else's, but... They are nonetheless a pain in the arse. What? I've been slowed? How dare you? Also, interesting to find out that I did once say slow was going to be a grey bar. It is not. It is an orangey bar. Come on, Hope. Get your finger out. Oh, we are fucked. We are absolutely fucked. We are double fucked, triple fucked, and all of the fuckage. All of the fuckage belong to us. Summoning lots of raptors can be very annoying. But yeah, that was a problem, isn't it? That battle is a problem child. And mostly the problem child is Hope. You're being very cruel to Hope. Stop being nasty to Hope. He's not done anything. Yeah, I know, that's the problem. He's not done anything. He's a useless prick. That's the issue we've got. So yeah, when you see that yellow version of the ATB bar, it is very much a bad, because it means I'm slowed. And yes, unfortunately the Fan Gang, yeah, we are down 1 against the wildlife. But we've managed to take down the first raptor. If we can take down the second raptor, we can start getting this battle under control. Although, the biggest problem we've got here is the simple fact that, yeah, Fang is damn near dead. Which is an issue. Hope, can you heal? Please, a little bit more. Like, quickly. Don't remember having this problem with Vanille. Yeah, you look between your legs and you think, I should do a better job instead of looking at my own penis. Really feel like I should try a different tactic, but I'm not really one for trying different tactics, so I'm going to just headbutt my way through the situation in a obnoxious and irritating fashion. True definition of madness is to do the same thing over and over and over again. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna keep whacking at the enemies. Jesus Christ, Hope. Is he done? He's done already. Fuck me, child. Or it's probably best not to fuck me, child. You forced this upon me. You nasty little beasts. I was just saying I don't often summon Eidolons. In fairness, it might not make enough of a difference, truth be told, but with a bit of luck. Because the issue is, once we can get rid of the Raptor... Biohat. No, Bahamut. God. Really picking me up on my pronunciations, aren't you? Dare you? Dare you beyond comparison? Just think of it like the island of Baja, and you're visiting it with a dog. So you've gone to the Bahamut. That's Gestalt mode, please. Good, I think. I think it automatically goes Gestalt mode when the meter runs down, but I might be mistaken. So it's always better to try and push the button. But there we go. Jet mode engaged. Not sure. We've not seen a lot of Bahamut in this, I don't think.
Now that's more like
Do 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 da do. Hunting dive. Rah. Aerial loop. Yes. Obliterating breath. Pulsar burst. Pow 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 pow. I'm a laser beast. I got missiles. I've got breath attacks for days. Yes. Probably Pulsar Burst seemed to be the best against a multiple crowd scenario. And we've got a multiple crowd scenario right now. Right, and now, the ultimate attack. I feel like you should use Bahamut every time. Well, unfortunately you can't, because you have to have the TP required to summon him. But also, it's usually unnecessary and just time-consuming to summon up the bastard. But also, truth be told, he looks like he's spectacular. It's like, oh shit, he was doing so much. Did you see the explosions and the fancy big lighting effects? But look how much damage he's actually done to these creatures. It's like a fraction. It's like barely touched their health bars. So as fancy and glorious as it looks on the surface, when you actually look at the damage he's doing, it's fuck all. It's like not worth. It's unfortunate that they really didn't. I don't know. The Eidolon system in this is just not great. It's kind of like usually it's this, because usually the summon system, up until about 10, I think, the summon system was just, I summon you, shed load of damage. Bye. It was just basically a cutscene, and then it did a load of damage. And then about 10 I think maybe, I might be mistaken, do feel free to correct me, any Final Fantasy fans. Final Fantasy fans. But I think 10 was roughly the first one where you actually sort of summoned it and controlled it for a bit. Which is where you had Yuna as the actual summoner. And you would summon, say, like her first one, you would summon Valfor. And then you could actually get Valifor to fight alongside you, and it would do the attacks you told it to do, I think. And then they sort of did it again here, but unfortunately, just he weren't very good. Not very good. They're all show, but no actual go. Do you not have Dispel? Do you not have to Dispel? Dispel, that's what we want. We want to do Dispel. There we go. Oh god, we need health for hope. This is going to be a sentence that's going to be repeated throughout the entirety of this now. We need health for hope. Ugh. No, I didn't really want that one. I think at this point I've eliminated a couple of its buffs. I can probably get away with just pounding away at it. That's what you need to do once you remove a couple of the buffs. Once you're in the buff, you just want to pound away at it. That's what you need to do. That's the secret to Final Fantasy. Don't you look happy, kid. Do not look happy. You dare look happy in my presence, you little shit. Oh, there's 2 treasure chests. Nice. Oh, harpoon cannon. Hello. Welcome, the epic ginger one. Don't have anything funny to say, because I can't. My brain's struggling to find an epic ginger person. Apart from obviously you. I'm just trying to think of an alternative epic ginger person. It's weird. I don't think there's many ginger protagonists, are there? Not that I can immediately think of. Unless you make a ginger protagonist, of course. Which I suppose you can... Oh, that's another one of those fellas up there, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, no, down there. I was looking at the wrong location. But thank you. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Obviously, I imagine you can probably see in the title and in the screen. We're playing Final Fantasy XIII, where we are right royally getting our asses handed to us by these beasties. Unfortunately, this is basically the same battle again, and I don't have Bahamut this time, so... Problems. We have a couple. Oh, I say it's the same. We actually have one less Oberon. Are they Oberons? I don't know, but if they are... Oh no, Orobons. Okay. I was thinking, you've got Oberon, there's bloody what's it? Game of Thrones again. I mean, it's a very good... Oh. Hope's dead. Which is a more factual statement than it necessarily sounds. It sounded just like a slightly depressing sort of, Hope is dead. But it's fact. The boy's called Hope. And he was... Technically they don't die in this. They only ever go down. But oh, we need to deal with the other bloody raptor one. Where's the raptor gone? Cock. Unfortunately, we do need to clear out some of these blooming... what's it? Most just hide. Yeah, I suppose in fairness you can't really go out in the sun. So you have to sort of... famous vampire... Oh, Hope! You are literally hopeless. You're gonna burn through my Phoenix Downs, and I don't like that. No, I don't like that. Because I don't like spending money. You little bastard. God damn you. Okay, right. We have dealt with the raptor. That puts us in relatively good stead. Because the other little... The pink dinosaurs, the ceratosaurs, they... they're one of those units where in huge numbers, as we currently sort of have a little bit too much of, they can be troublesome. Which is why you have to get rid of the raptors first. You have to get rid of the raptors in order to then get rid of the constant flow of ceratosaurs. And now I have gotten rid of the raptors. See, I can just start chipping away at the ceratosaurs. Then once we've dealt with them, we can slowly but surely get rid of the Orobons. And I think... No, that one's not got any buffs. Does the other one have any buffs? No. Weirdly, they don't have buffs this time. Does beg a question. Where did the others get their buffs from? Because you'd have thought, I've left them alone just as long, and the other one's got buffs. These guys? Nah. Nah, they didn't get buffs. Don't know. Don't know why. But I'll take the win on it. I will take the win on it. Because without their buffs, they kind of suck. They are useless. They are awful. I don't like them, and now I'm gonna kill them. Yes, indeed. Slicey dicey time. Audubon B. It's time for you to die. I don't know. We might need a little bit of health for Hope again. Sounds like a charity, doesn't it? If you give 30 pence a month, you can give us Health for Hope. Where he gets his health bar just expanded. Just that tiny bit. I don't know what that voice was meant to be. It sounded like the sort of voice you'd hear on charity. Is that a thing? Is that a thing? There's a certain type of voice that appears on charity? No, I don't think so. I'm going to pop off as the battery's dead. That is unfortunate. I suggest electricity. Can you do anything that doesn't equate to some form of sarcasm? I mean, I could do your mum. Not pleasant, and if you think about it too much, you realise some terrible things about that sentence. But nonetheless, no, apparently I can't do anything that doesn't end in sarcasm. But yes, no, I do suggest electricity in the battery. It helps. But yes, thank you for dropping by. I hope you do enjoy, and I will be back on a weekly basis, of course. SaturJay RPG is a weekly show. I'm doing it again. He's doing it again. He's doing the professional bit again. Yeah, I know, I've heard. I was here when he did it the first time. Oh, fair dues. But yeah, every Saturday, 4:30, BST, British summertime. We are ploughing our way through Final Fantasy XIII. And it's going pretty well, actually, in fairness. I mean, every now and again the game starts irritating me, but I don't think I've ever played I discussed this last week, in fairness. I don't think I've ever played a game that hasn't, at some point, irritated me. Because I said I was absolutely in love with... it's a Seath Stone, of course it is. I said I was absolutely in love with Fist of the North Star, and even that irritates me every now and again. Doesn't necessarily stop the love, but it does irritate me every now and again. Mostly it's when the issue I found with Fist of the North Star is they sort of put you against like dozens of dudes. Some of the battles just felt utterly ridiculous. Stopped and slow as a combo there seems a bit overkill, doesn't it? I've stopped you and I've slowed you down as well. I suppose in fairness to them using both stop and slow at the same time, slow of course will last a little bit longer than stop, I believe. But yeah, it does just feel a little bit like putting two belts on. Nah, that's not a good example, because I would happily wear two belts, because I am a belt fanatic. At least in designing characters, I'm a belt fanatic. I'm very much. Almost every single one of my... If I've ever designed a character in my head, almost every single one of them has the sort of standard belt around the trousers and then like the cross belts type situation. I think it's because I love Final Fantasy VIII. I think that's the first place I saw that sort of belt system. I think it's Squall. Squall has that sort of cross belts, and it was like, oh, I love it. I think certainly Vice from Skies of Arcadia, I think, has a sort of a slanted belt. But outside of that, I don't think he certainly didn't have multiple belts. I don't think, but as I say, I've got a feeling Squall had sort of a multi-belt system where he had a sort of a couple crossed over each other. And I don't know, I can't help myself. I love that design. I don't think I'd ever get away with wearing multi-belts in real life, partially because of, physics. I don't think belts will stay crossed like that unless they're specially designed. But also, I think it would look stupid on an actual real person. So unless I was actually full-on committing to sort of some kind of cosplay thing, I don't think it would look right to just be wandering around with multiple belts everywhere. Especially, I suppose, arguably, the other thing Vice does, of course, is he has somehow, don't ask me how, but somehow he lost the sleeves of his shirt, and then what he did was he went, I've got some spare belts, I'll just attach the sleeve via a series of belts, which is silly, really, but it looks good. It does look good. That'd be a fun cosplay. Just cosplay as Vice. I wouldn't necessarily say no to that. Not exactly a cosplay person, but if I was to try a cosplay, I would probably go for Vice. Or Snow. But Snow's is a lot more complicated, I think. Well, having said that, you would have to rip sleeves off of a shirt and then attach them with belts, so it's not exactly the simplest of things. Oh, look, it's sort of a sci-fi futuristic fantasy dandelion. Did you make a wish, Lightning?
Sarah says she wants to talk.
No, she didn't. She's a crystal. You're an idiot. I love you, Snow, but you are an idiot.
Skip the lectures.
Whoa, hey! Bit harsh. Make her an honest woman. Damn straight.
Sarah wants to know.
I'm going to shoot you if you don't answer the question.
You are getting married, aren't you? Don't you let her down, you hear me?
Don't worry. This tear will be her last. I'll make sure of that.
That's all I need to know.
See, I think it would have been quite nice. Now, this is anybody who doesn't want spoilers for Final Fantasy 13 or Final Fantasy 10,
No room for
13-2, 10-2.
You're right.
I suggest just muting for the next 5 minutes, perhaps. Should be reasonably quick to discuss this, but
convince me of
if they hadn't... I'd mute now. Now.
Don't worry.
If they hadn't just gone, fuck the ending of 13, we'll just
This.
retcon it into something completely different. What they could have done, which would have been, I think, quite pleasant, is the same sort of thing they did with 10 to 10-2, which is they could have just had Snow and Sarah marry off, having an enjoyable life at the beginning of 10-2, 13-2, sorry, and then you sort of carry on as new characters, perhaps. But instead, they didn't. And it's like, can you just let those two have their happy ending? And I'm not... I suppose, no, I'm a sucker for a happy ending, I suppose. I can't deny it. But, yeah, I don't know. Just, they could have let them have their happy ending and then carried on with a different scenario, and I think it would have been better. Like, this is where the 10-2 spoilers come in, like what they did in 10 to 10-2, which was Walker and Lulu were married and had a child. Or a child on the way, maybe, something along those lines. And that was pleasant, because it felt like a nice continuation. 10 to 10-2 was a beautiful sort of sequel, because it just picked up where they left off. Whereas 13 to 13-2, they just went, fuck it. I know we created a game, we created a lovely story, perfect ending, but fuck it. Fuck it, I don't want that ending anymore. And it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. If they're just, you know, like I know some people have got issues with the idea of them having done 13-2 and 13-3, because it was not necessarily required. But if they're just, I just feel like if they'd done it as a unified thing, so that it wasn't 3 completely sporadic games with barely a link between them. Am I supposed to be sort of seeing a fuzzy glow, or is this just my screen dying or something? Something nasty and horrendous that I don't want to acknowledge. There we go. I think we're okay. But yeah, I've also spotted on the map, I spotted the old Seath Stone.
Almost home.
So, the warping Seath Stone specifically. Which means I can pop back to deal with some of those other bits and bobs. Because unfortunately, I've warned you several times, in fairness, but there is a lot of bits and pieces, bits and bobs. You put them all together, and what have you got? What you've got is a situation where it's kind of, you have to go back and forth and just fill in the gaps and stuff. And I am a sucker for a fill in a gap side quest. Never quite managed to do them all, apart from on some very rare occasions. Ghost of Tsushima is an example. I did everything in that game. Bloody everything. And in fairness, oddly enough, I did try and do everything in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. However, and they may have changed it, and they may have patched it out, but weirdly, there is an area in Valhalla where you just go, okay, there's a treasure chest in this cave. Cool. I'll just walk into this. Why am I underwater? And you end up in a cave that's not underwater, but is underwater. But it's definitely not underwater, but it is underwater. Because what happens is you start swimming, and you can't stop swimming, but you are swimming through the air. And you can't get the treasure chest because you're swimming, despite the fact that you are not swimming. It's a weird one, and it kind of was like, oh, well, I'm not getting every treasure chest in the game then, am I? Bye. Not going to bother with... Because unfortunately, I do have a slightly sort of all or nothing, all or fuck all mentality. It's either like, can I get all of these? And if the answer is sort of like, maybe, I kind of pursue it. But the moment the answer becomes, no, I can't, that's it. Couldn't give a shit if I get another one at all. When Father told me he was leaving us, I struck him full in the face. I can still remember the look in his eye to this day, just as I'll never forget the way he picked himself up and left without a word. I found out later that he had turned to crystal. It pains me now to think of how I never made any attempt to understand how he suffered under the burden of his focus. That is why I must triumph over the goblin chieftain near Taijin's tower, so that someday I can tell him that I am sorry. Well, that is my next mission. Yes, I want to abandon the old mission, because this one's more important, because it gets me access to the teleportation stone. But it does, if you're interested and you missed it, it does highlight the fact that we have now skipped from 10 to 20. So where 11 through to 19 are, apart from that one obviously, where they are I do not know, but I'm sure we'll eventually figure it out. So I think despite the fact that this looks, actually it looks nothing like it, does it? It's vastly more horrendous looking creature. Wings, spiny bits off the legs and all that shit. But this is a Managamar. A Managamar. Yeah. But it's got a little accent over the A, so I don't know precisely what that does to it. But Minigarmer. Would you like to see my Minigarmer? Would you like to see my mini Garmin? It's a very small sat-nav. Fairly certain Garmin makes sat-navs. I might be wrong. They might make a whole host of things, but I'm reasonably certain they make sat-navs. 5 stars, yeah. So not a difficult enemy. It's just it's another variation of the lupine thing. But yeah, I think that there is definitely like an effect that is here, that is wibbling the screen. Oh no, he knows. He knows. A dog knows. And that hell of a fucking nose this thing's got, isn't it? Jesus, look at it. The state of this thing. Spiny bits and teeth everywhere. It's not what you really want. The only rhyme I couldn't think of is it's not what you want in your underwear, and it's like, no, that giant horrendous looking dog thing, no, I don't want it anywhere near my underwear, thank you very much. I thought for a second they were in the we'd hit the second hour, and that's why I was da-da-da-da-da-ing, but no, not quite. 5 stars. It's what you like to see. Sinister Fang, yeah, not half. I've been saying how ugly the bastard is, so the fact that he deposits sinister fangs makes absolute sense. So what we're looking at, so yeah, the star is just in front of here, and then I don't know. I'm going to have decisions to make in the not too distant future, and those decisions, I don't know what the result of those decisions is going to be. Okay, I think incoming. Yes, he's just sort of. There we go. I think we've fought one of these before. If it's the same type, it might have a slight variance. No, it's the Anfis Baner. I am Anfis Bane. But it's usually the one that kills me with the feeding swoop, and so I'll have to try and adjust around that. But apart from that, we should be okay. Come on, Fang, hit it. Hit it, dear. I need you to hit it, dear. So we can try and break it, dear. Hope, I need you now more than I've ever needed you before. Good lord. Even with a commando strike, that stagger meter is dropping like a stone. Absolute stone. As opposed to an absolute casserole. Taskmaster reference for those interested. For those keeping score at home, Taskmaster reference. Just do a little tick under your Taskmaster reference grid. You get it with the subscriber box I was mentioning last week. That was a joke box, by the way, just in case you were wondering. Oh dear, is he? No, he's alive! The boy's alive! My word! Well done, Hope. That's amazing. Legitimately amazing. Because Vanille, she couldn't live against the feeding swoop. But the boy managed to live. I'm impressed. Colour me the colour of impressed. Can we identify the colour of impressed now? We decided happiness was yellow, and this wasn't decided here, but I was watching a stream the other day where it was decided that pink was love, which makes a degree of sense. Although technically, of course, we said yellow was happiness. Yellow is actually fear, of course, if you're going Green Lantern. If you're going down the Green Lantern route. Pink is still love, though, I think. Pink is still love. Right, take down the mini fellas first, because they're going to be... Basically, they're going to be easier to take down. And I think the goblin enhancement is based on him enhancing his little goblins, as you would always expect. So if we focus on the mini goblins first, we should hopefully be quids in for removing them, and then we'll want to focus on the big goblins, the goblin chieftain and the maestro. Probably want to go after the maestro first because I recognise the maestro, and I fought maestros before, whereas goblin chieftains not quite so much. We do not know who or what they are. Pow! Come on, slicey dicey. That's what we like to see. Come on, we need more slicey dicey, please. It's not too bad letting them have those buffs at the moment, because they're going to do more damage to me because they are sort of because they're strength buffs, strength and magic buffs, so they're going to do more damage to me. But it's better than them having defensive buffs, because then that means I'm doing less damage, so I can still kill them quite quickly, which is beneficial. When is a goblin not a goblin? When it's finished lunch? That's when a goblin's not goblin. When it has a hole for a face, balls for hands, and wheels for feet. It's fair. It's fair. Let's Libra the Chieftain now, although it's a little bit early because I should really be killing the other one. I got distracted and allowed this thing to live, which was not the plan. But yeah, the goblins in this are just weird. We discussed that last week and the week before, I think. But in fairness, they're so weird. They are so weird looking that they probably do deserve 3 weeks, at least 3 weeks worth of discussion as to how weird they are. Because this one's now got a fucking handle on its head, couple of spiky hands, and flipping goggles. Is he going to go off and sort of do some snowboarding? But yeah, you could run a bit of string through his sort of ring at the top there, and he can just whee. I have trousers, even a fly, but no way to access it. That's true. Yes, they do have trousers, belts, flies, and yet no use for them because, of course, they can't actually open the fly. Sabotage, I believe, is what is called for here. Because now it's one of those ones where I know technically what I've done here is slightly counter to what I mentioned earlier, because I said I won't bother removing those buffs because they're not defensive, they're offensive. Now I've gone to the effort of removing this guy's buffs, and they're the same buffs. Just to fully clarify why I did that, the Goblin Chieftain is a lot stronger, so he's going to be around a lot longer, so he's going to get more attacks in. So him having attack buffs is not good for my long-term survival. Whereas the little goblins, they are weaker, therefore I can kill them quite quickly, therefore it didn't matter letting them keep their buffs. I hope that makes sense. It does in my brain, but things that make sense in my brain don't always make sense when you realise you've said them out loud. Because sometimes things in my brain should probably just retain their sort of state of being in my brain. and thus not be allowed out in the world. But this one I'm fairly confident does make sense. If you can kill something quickly, you don't have to care about tactics. If you're going to have to kill something slowly, you're going to have to start giving a shit about tactics. Oh, okay, no, he just straight up got me. He was quick, very quick. Luckily, they're weak, so they are weak-willed little doggies. Although they've got quite a heavy stagger gauge, but they're still not... Well, okay. This is the point in time you know for a fact they're going to prove themselves quite strong, but I have only ever faced off against one, which meant, of course, I had the advantage. But no, I think their health bar is going down quite swiftly. Our strength is far superior. Change of plans. It's the same plan as usual when we're almost dead. Hope you heal us so that we're not nearly dead. So it's not really what one would call a change of plan. But she's got limited dialogue inside of battles. So every time you change a paradigm, you're going to change a plan. Do. Right, I think we can relentlessly assault them. Let's go. Oh, I'm going to fuck up your day. Cobber. Just to add an extra shrimp to the Barbie that is this stereotypical Australian voice I'm doing. I think we'll probably play it safe and get a little bit of diversity up in here. Go on, slice them apart. Go on. I'm gonna shit on you when I've killed you. I'm gonna piss on your corpse. Reference to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So, oh yeah, I was discussing the checkbox. Reference bingo. There you go. That's what I should perhaps do. I'll create a reference bingo for people to engage with, so that throughout the streams, if you hear me go Sabotage by the Beastie Boys, you just get your little dabber out and you go pop. Sabotage by the Beastie Boys, marvellous. And then if I make a reference to Taskmaster, boop. There we go, good. And then if I make a reference to other things, just constantly, boop, boop, and then you can just shout, bingo! And then we'll check through and make sure you've actually got bingo. Although having said that, there is the point. Another one of the bingo marks, of course, would invariably be, he said something, completely forgot he'd said it, and then couldn't acknowledge what he'd previously said. So that will be a factor in checking the bingo, because it will be sort of like, yep, I don't remember if I did make that reference you claim I made. So it's a flawed bingo system, but a bingo system nonetheless. Right, I think at this point we're probably going to back out of this tower. So we'll be watching this cutscene and then back out of it.
I'm not the only one hearing that, am I?
No.
No, there is a growling sound.
Them. Could it?
I mean, it might do. Oh. I'm not sure if they're actually using words.
It's weird. Like voices in my head.
I hear it. Your presence here draws the tyrant's gaze. Leave this place at
Oh.
once.
Cool.
We can't leave.
She can apparently translate it.
Wait for us to get through.
Must have been in
Help us.
must have been in the old native Australian dialect, which probably has a name. I just can't think of.
Look for us.
Aborigine, isn't it? Is that Australian? Or am I thinking of somewhere else? God, I don't know things. And I realise that's a broad statement, but one that's true. I do not know things. Oh, these lifts are quite fun because they're on like a musical board. So as they go up, you sort of get a ding 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 ding. It's weird, but fun.
This is our ride. Bumpy or not.
Right, I don't. Are you going to automatically take that ride? No, I don't think we are. Because I think at this point it might be worthwhile.
Watch my back.
What? No, I'm not washing your back. Wash your own back, you little shit. Right, okay, let's take down this dog and get that treasure chest. I feel like that's going to be well worth our... How dare you turn around at the last second? So I was sprinting across that field for quite a substantial amount of time. It's like, No, I can't see you. I can't see you. Oh, you've gotten just shy of me. I can see you. What a prick. He's not what you want to see on a dog. You don't want to be able to look at a dog and go, what a prick. For multiple reasons. You don't really need to see the dog's prick for starters, and you don't really want to be excited by going, oh, what a prick. Alright, Hope, come on, son. You can hold on here. That's a Managar. Yes, it is a Managurmer. It's a Managurmer. It's a Managurmer. Its only weakness is the Canar. Wonder if you can... I suppose arguably, actually. What are they called? They're called they're called Managarmas. So actually, they've got all the letters in the right order, just a slightly different pronunciation. So what you need, their only weakness, the Managarma, is the Karanama. I was trying to be cleverer than was entirely required the first time I tried to make that joke. Which isn't. It's another thing on your bingo card. So stamp that off. He tried to be clever, realised he wasn't, and had to backtrack. Meddling kids with perfect hair and fancy sticks. Yes. That is another weakness. Right, so I think let us... Yeah, I think what we'll do at this point, before we get too deep in the tower, before I let my tower get too deep into you, I will back out and teleport off and do some other things first. Slightly distracted now, and I realised the shocking thing here is I've genuinely just gotten distracted by shiny things. I was just curious. Will you stop fucking... God, I've got enough of a reputation of being obsessed with characters' boobs. Don't need the camera keep doing that. Oh, Jesus. But no, I was like, fine. I embrace it. I embrace your boobs, Fang. Are you happy now? No, she's probably not. She will slice my nads off. But no, I was just slightly intrigued. Oh, God, I've done it again. God damn it, camera. I was slightly intrigued by these slightly lit pillars. It just... They interested me. They were an interesting little design, and I was curious because they look like they're slightly lit, but I'm wondering how they did it, because I doubt they had some kind of actual light in it. It might be what is considered an emission surface, where it sort of emits a glow that's not really a glow. It's a sort of affected glow. I don't really know how emission works, truth be told. But I don't think it's an official light in terms of it actually sort of emits light rays. It is a light glowing effect on these things. But yeah, I don't know. It interested me. From a 3D modelling standpoint, it kind of interested me. Which is why I got distracted. But yes, I imagine distracted by shiny things is helpful for a person in charge of creating dungeons. I think we can probably relentlessly assault them. Especially seems as the fun thing about that storm conduction that it's doing. It hit me that time, admittedly, but it's an area of effect around the beastie. So, because we just happened to not be anywhere near the beastie, it actually missed the first time, which is nice. It's not missed any other time, but you know, any time it does miss, you can be reasonably happy about that fact. Do. Come on, guys. It's not got a lot of health left. Kill it quickly. Quickly, slowly, all sorts. That's a self-reference, that one. I've been watching some of the odd clips I've made recently, trying to piece them together in a sort of, look, I can do editing type deal. And I end on a really just like absolutely horrendously shitty joke, but it makes me chuckle every time I see it, so it can't be that bad, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know precisely what made me say the words, but the words are quickly, slowly, all sorts. And what I did in the edit was I had just a little image of some licorice all sorts. When I said quickly, they drop quickly across the screen. When I say slowly, they drop slowly across the screen. And then finally the punchline, of course, is revealed, which is all sorts. And so the all sorts sort of just raise up and you get that boom, boom, boom. And it makes for a really nice sort of end. I think, yeah, lightning just died. Do you have rays, Hope? I hope you have rays. Oh, you do. You must have, because you've done it. Marvellous. Well done, kid. You did a good. You did a good boy. But yeah, it's an amusing little joke. I was quite pleased at, truth be told. It's better if you can see it, obviously. But nonetheless, it just amuses me. Quickly, slowly, all sorts. As I say, it makes for this amusing little end to this compilation. Oh, it's doing a feed and stoop again. Ah, god damn it, Hope died this time. Ah, son of a bitch. No, I think I need him. Need to revive the child. But, oh, god damn it. Hope! Don't be dead again, Hope. Good lad. Come on, come on. There we go. Now we've got the stagger. We should be able to chip away at it, especially if we go full attack mode. It's what you need from your people. You need full attack mode. Go now. Attack. Attack everything with your weapons and your solid attack strength. Yeah. So I still haven't really found a good alternate weapon for Fang. Because she's still rocking her original bladed lance. Which was, yeah. I remember considering the gay bulge. Which is not how it's pronounced, I know, but it amuses me too much to stop calling it the gay bulge. That one's more for sabotaging, and that one... Is that the shit one? Oh no, that's not the shit one. Okay. Yeah. But now I've kind of started the bladed lance, so it's kind of difficult to now stop the bladed lance, considering it's level 13. I think we'll probably stick to the bladed lance, despite the fact that it's not the most interesting of designs. I mean, the overall weapon she has is an interesting design, but the bladed lance is not the most interesting of those designs. Although, I don't know, it's alright, isn't it? I quite like it. It's not too bad. And it might change eventually. What I need to do is I need to sit down and dedicate myself to dealing with the upgrade system in this game, because I need to really start getting them to level up and in fact change the weapons they've got in order to get them to be even stronger than before. But as has been seen over the weeks, I don't like the weapons upgrade system in this game, so it does prove troublesome to knuckle down and actually, grit your teeth and get on with it. It's not like complicated, it's just, I don't know, slightly annoying. And especially, as I mentioned before, the other key factor in the annoyance of this mode, shitty shit. Yep, big shits. And big shits, little shits, cardboard shits. Have you ever had a cardboard shit? Yes, I once ate a box. I regretted the decision immediately, but nonetheless it did equate to a cardboard shit. No, that is distinctly not a true story, I'd like to just clarify. But yeah, the other issue I've mentioned about the weapon upgrade system in this is once you start upgrading the weapons, it's difficult to justify stopping, because you've put so many items in there and they've now leveled up so high you can't change the weapons, but you also don't... It's an annoying system. There are much better weapon systems out there. than the one in Final Fantasy XIII. Even your bog standard, I've reached the next town. Can I buy a new weapon, please? Yes, this one is slightly stronger than the last one. Cool. You know, even that basic of systems is better than this upgrade system they've got in this game. And yeah, I can't get on. I can't get on with the upgrade system here. Even like Final Fantasy VIII had a good system, I think, because basically it was always, or was it? No, it's not quite what I think it is. I think the weapon system in Final Fantasy VIII was you found magazines or books of some kind, and then with those magazines you unlocked the ability to build the new upgraded weapons. So there wasn't that many weapons in Final Fantasy VIII in the grand scheme of things, but it felt like an accomplishment to have gotten the next level up. And unlike this one where it feels like such a waste if you then change weapon, it was like, yes, I've unlocked this version of the weapon. It is just a straight upgrade, so of course I'm going to use this now. And I don't necessarily mind if they didn't do like straight upgrade, because I don't mind like the ideas they've got with the different weapons. So, you know, the bladed lance is just your bog standard. If you go with one of the lances, the gay bulge. Say what? Gay bulge. If you go with the gay bulge, you get improved counters. If you go with the partisan, I think it was the improved sabotage. That I can absolutely get behind, the idea of having different weapons specialise in different areas, but I don't know, it just never. But it's the upgrade part. The weapons themselves are nice, but the upgrade part is just like, ugh, irritating. Right, I suppose at this point we kind of need to figure out. Yeah, we need to figure out where we want to go. I think it might be a case of just go back to the basic first area, which I think is the Subadran Heights. Not sure. I think we've seen the teleportation system before, but if we haven't, it's nice. You know, it's a bit Star Trekky. We're back here. With the chilled music. Oh yes, indeed. It is super chilled music. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck yeah. Oh yeah, it is. I don't know where I want to go. No. 'Cause unfortunately there's no obvious Seath stones here, so I don't necessarily want to bother with wandering around here unless I absolutely have to. The Vallis Media, I suppose the Central Expanse is probably where we might find it. This is where I'm going to regret trying to fill in the fiddly bits, and it would be better. I'd be better served just to go off and do the main story. But for now we'll just finish the stream off with a few twiddly bits, see what we can accomplish, if we can accomplish anything, of course. How in the name of I don't know what name, who name, whose name, your name? Wow, what are we wowing? Oh, that's what we're wowing. There's a giant dude walking. I don't know who that is. I don't know what that is. Let's go fight it. No, we're definitely not going and fighting it. I feel like you probably can. If you track the big bastard down, I do have a distinct impression. Yeah. In fairness, actually, that way, we haven't actually gone that way much, it would say. Right, so we're looking for sort of shiny Seath stones. Which apparently... Oh, there's a shiny Seath stone there. So I wonder if that's going to be the one we want. It might be. But I'll tell you what, for now, I have no real thoughts of actually winning against it, even if I do end up finding a way to fight it, but we'll just track him for a little bit, because this side of the map, if you look, I haven't, and unless we've just run out of sort of scanning space or It's not really scanning space as such, but I get the impression I've never been here. That's the crucial detail. Don't really fancy going against a Behemoth. I mean, I'm probably, in fairness, vastly more equipped to go against a Behemoth nowadays. I just don't really feel like bothering. Which I know is the height of laziness, but far prefer going against an easy flan than a fucking Behemoth. Easy flans. You just combine eggs and sugar and... Nah. Don't think eggs and sugar alone make a flan. I don't know, but I don't really think there'd be flour involved. But there might be. Might be a requirement of flan. A requirement of flour in the flan. Right, so I think we'll track these flans once again. We seem to have ended up in the mist, which is interesting. Shouldn't bother me that much, because I don't think there's any detriment to being in the mist. I suppose the idea is you just struggle to see the enemies a little bit more, and therefore potentially run into them a little easier. Jesus game. Do you want to... If I just think of something, do you want to just show me an example of it again? I was literally just about to say, the problem with 4 flans is it's easier for at least a couple of them to merge into another flan, one of the larger flans, and the game literally, before I even said the words, the game went, we're going to do the merge. We're going to show him off. Show off the merge. Just as he's going to explain it. Luckily, because they are slightly easier than normal, owing to the fact that I'm simply beefier than them. Not that you want a beef flan. Is beef flan a thing? I don't think beef flan is a thing. Plus, technically, I don't. When I said eggs and sugar, I don't think I was really doing flan as such. I was doing more of a sort of creme brulee type thing, because I've decided they look a little bit like creme brulee. I managed to. But I'm not convinced egg and sugar is creme brulee either. Probably I'm assuming a creme brulee probably has cream in it. I think that might be a safe bet on your part. Yeah. But yeah, an actual flan is just a flan case with shit in it. So you can have, you can have a shit flan if you want, i.e. you literally shit in a flan case. But you can also you could have a beef flan if you really wanted to, couldn't you? Traditionally, you don't have beef flan, I don't think. More fruity based, I suppose. But if you really want a beef flan, you go ahead and have a beef flan. Is that? I think the gribbly, slimy noises are just them, which makes sense. They are gribbly and slimy, but I don't know, it felt like it was behind me. Rather than in front of me, where they were making horrendous squelching noises. Right, standard fare. There's not going to be any particularly special things to do in these battles at the moment, I don't think. But right now it's just kick the shit out of the lower flans. Especially, what you really need to do is stop them merging. Basically, that's the be-all and end-all plan of fighting flans. Stop them merging. And especially, because if the 2 little flans, if you left them to merge, I think they would become a dire flan. And then I'm fairly certain the 2 dire flans could merge into a bigger flan. Although, having said that, the dire... Yeah, truth be told, the dire might be the highest ranking flan available. Which is a peculiar sentence. The dire flan might be the highest ranking flan you can get. The Danny Dyer flan. You fucking twat. Make for a very different experience, wouldn't it? I think any game would be a very different experience if it was narrated by Danny Dyer. What, you gonna let that flan beat you, you fucking twat? Go on, get stuck in and get that flan down you. Go, you wanker. Wait, treasure chest for me. A lightning charm. Now, is that a charm for lightning or a charm that deals with lightning? Spoiler, I'm pretty certain it's a charm that deals with lightning, which means it's shit. Shit for me, and shit for you, and shit for everyone. There we go, yes. It's the same as all these others. Water Charm, random water eater. Ice Cham. Ice Cham? Ice Cham. A random ice eater. Now, I can't deny, if I equipped 2 Ice Charms, it's not impossible to think that they wouldn't become a slightly better version, but I don't really want to have to equip 2 of them. Plus, technically, I don't remember ever really dealing with upgrading accessories, but you can upgrade accessories, which means you might, if you upgrade it enough, you might get it to no longer be a random Ice Eater, but at the moment, get rid of it, quickly, yeah, bastard. He managed it, but yes, you do have that, especially now I'm super powerful, you do have that window of opportunity where they've sort of merged, but not actually become the creature they're merging into. So basically you get one flan, and if you can kill that one flan in an instant, you can in fact have the advantage, and it will not merge, and you will get the kill on 2 flans for the price of 1, which is always useful. How many flans would you buy if you got 2 flans for the price of 1? I'd probably... Well, I'd purchase 1 so that I could get the 2 flans. Oh, no. Merging. Yes, got it. Nice one. Launch. Got to admit, didn't know this. Or at least I possibly found it out last time and just forgot about it, I suppose. But I hadn't considered the idea that launch would be quite such a powerful weapon against that, because we really slowed down its merger by simply sort of lifting it up into the air, and it allowed us to basically bully the little boy. Right, so yeah, I mean, I think that's just a respawn of flans. I think the giant smashing noises we can hear are possibly the large fiery beast that's roaming around here somewhere. Treasure chest? No, I'll double check the corner fully, but I hadn't really thought there was going to be a treasure chest there. You can mostly, for the most part, there's a little bit of sort of distance-based stuff, of course, naturally, but a lot of the time... Hello. Oh, well, we're fighting a behemoth, because he just kind of came at me. Oh, he came at me and allowed me to do the back attack. Oh, that's good. Oh, this is a Behemoth King. Huh. I don't know if we really want to be tangling with a King Behemoth. Much prefer a baby Behemoth, if anything. Small defenceless child Behemoth would be more my speed, but I think in fairness, look at the state of its health bar. We are kicking the shit out of this thing. But again, I reiterate what I think I said last week, as I often do reiterate, because I have very little to say, but it is quite pleasant going back to a foe that has given you so much trouble in the past, only to, you know, like right now, kick the crap out of it with ease. It's genuinely satisfying, because it really does make you feel like you've gotten somewhere with the game, I think, essentially. Now, technically, I hit its back, but I don't think... No, it was full-on warning sign, so... Yeah, have we? Yeah, we've dealt with Rangdas before. And I think they're all Rangdas, aren't they? You have trouble cleaning your downstairs windows. Well, at the moment, that sounds like a full-blown non-sequitur, but I will... I've roughly seen the rest of the sentence, so I get where it's going. But it's just, I don't know. Just out of nowhere, I have trouble cleaning my downstairs windows. I just wanted you to know. No, I do understand. Yet Fang can jump 3 stories, pause, then land perfectly. Exactly. I mean, she would be very useful. Very useful if you did need a window cleaner. Because she's got all the fabric. Look. Chamois, you know, little furry cloth for buffing. I don't think you buff with a furry cloth, do you? But yeah, she's got plenty of cloth and can jump up, pause, give him a wash. Give him a wash down, boom, done. Oh, it's his tail. I was just thinking, that's weird. I don't remember them looking like that. But yeah, I'm looking up its arsehole. And I've clearly never looked up one of its arseholes before. Which, in fairness, I'm moderately pleased by, being able to sort of use that phrase. I've never looked up that giant creature's arsehole. Right, these are big. We've seen these sort of shelled creatures previously, the old shelled lizards. But yeah, whether I can actually win. Ah, you bastard! Go on, get back in your fucking hole. Turn around, turn around. You have not seen anything here, you little asshole. Stop being an absolute dicky dido. Just gonna ring around the fucking roses. Fine, we'll just battle it straight on. What we'll have to do is try and lay down some bullying, get the Saboteuran synergy out. I mean, in fairness, we might not be able to win at all. We may have just rocked up into an area that I will never be able to beat. Especially because he's blocking. I think he's blocking Slow and Curse, which is unlikely. Oh, I see. No, they've been trying. I got you. They've been trying physical attacks, and he completely blocks physical attacks. Also seems hugely resistant to well, basically everything. So that's good. Icy Breath. Hope's dead. Cool. Cool beans. Yep, that's what we want. I suppose Icy Breath would very much cool your beans off. This is one of those ones where it's difficult to know. That's a lot of health. And level 7. We already know level 6 was slightly troublesome. Although we also know that level something else was really super easy. And it wasn't. I think it was level 6 was super... Oh, no, what level 11 I think may have been it. I don't know. The level system in this is absolute horseshit. Just state the fact. The levels are all over the place and it really does not denote. And it tells you nothing because you haven't got your own level to work against. You know, it's like in your traditional old schooler RPG, you could go, I'm level 28. Oh, the enemies are level 35. That's quite a large gap. I have to be careful. Whereas in this, it's like, they're level 6. What level am I? I haven't got a level. Cool. So they're level 7. What does that mean for me? Absolutely no clue, mate. Absolutely no clue. Right. Do we really want to go against another one? I mean, the answer is no. No, I don't really want to go against another one. But the other answer is a treasure chest. And I really do like treasure chests, despite the fact that they're always disappointing me. So, I mean, oddly enough, there is almost literally... Oh, for fuck's sake, Hope. God damn it. I'll tell you what we might be able to do. Combat Clinic. We are going to end up having to provoke it and deal with it that way. But theoretically, do you not have it? Oh, I've got a nasty feeling she's not got it. Could have sworn I'd seen you use raise before. Lightning, come on. Have I not given you a raise, Lightning? No, it's looking suspiciously like I have not given her a raise. Blast and botheration. Okay, we'll go Solidarity so that we can maintain our strength, but I think ultimately I'm going to have to use a bloody Phoenix down because I need the boy back. As much as I hate him, I require his services because he's the only healer I've got. That's not true. Lightning was literally just healing, and you been a bit of a dick to Lightning, aren't you? Yeah, I know. Accidental dicketry though, so it's not so bad. Kill the Rangda. There we go. Right, now let's go to bullying, so that hopefully we can try at least to get some kind of... Oh, Barfrost. Interesting choice. Oh, he does use Icy Breath, doesn't he? Yeah, fair dues. Fair dues, kid. I take back my sentiment of it being an interesting choice. Do you really only have Slow and Curse? I've got a nasty feeling you really do only have Slow and Curse at the moment. Yeah, slow, Slowga, Kurska. We'll try just a multi-hit of slows, see if we can finally get that slow on there. No, it's really not. It's really not having slow, is it? And unfortunately, the boy doesn't know haste at the moment. Solidarity was not the one I wanted. I wanted diversity. Which type of tea would you like? Earl Grey, Diversity, or Solidarity? That's a joke for you. There you go. It's one you can take home to the bank, deposit it into the bank, and then watch as they laugh at you for having deposited absolutely nothing and wasting your money on a deposit box for no reason. Oh, slow did hit eventually. Fairly sad. Don't know where the slow came from. Because, I mean, it came from Fang somewhere along the line, but I swear I've not been Saboteur for quite some time, and yet somehow suddenly it's slowed down. I'll take it. I'll take the slow on it. It's always going to be useful. 5 stars, lovely jubbly. We do like to see a good old 5 stars. Let's be disappointed. Earth Charm. I was right. I was disappointed. That looks like a absolute ball ache of a battle. 2 of them and 3 of the fucking Rangders. No, thank you. 1 of them and 3 Rangders. If I can see a treasure chest behind you, I'm possibly willing to go for it. But if you're not guarding a treasure, I cannot be arsed with you. No, I'm not doing that again if there's no treasure. The only reason I will fight you is for cold hard cash. I am a mercenary. Yes, indeed. Diddly dee. Whoops. Why'd you do that, Fang? You just suddenly leapt in a way we didn't need you to leap. Oh, hello. We've found a nest of Seath stones. Now, do we think any of these are going to be 11? If they are... Oh, no. That is number 59. We're not doing number 59. The Zanitra, a Class A creature in the subterranean lake. You can fuck off. Why do I suspect this is going to be 58? 58, the colour of many. Humbubba. I am not tackling Humbubba. Thank you very much. 57? I'm going to double check them all. I have to for due diligence, but nonetheless. What's yours is Brian. Okay, that's quite funny. That's only a Class C though, but I still think it would be ridiculously overpowered at my current state. At once craving autonomy, yearning to be part of a greater whole. Which whole is your greater whole? A toothy grin. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I had just then when I was laughing at which is your greater whole. 62! That's even higher. The Raktavijar. Big beastie. Entreat with the Raktavijar. Intriguing. I don't know what the word entreat specifically means off the top of my head, but it doesn't sound like kill. Which makes me wonder if they are something even more extra special than I necessarily give it credit for. But nonetheless, I mean, we've covered a little bit more of the map, which is quite nice, isn't it? Diddly-die. Got some useless items as well, which is not so nice. Hey, it's nice, and it's not so nice. It's nice to just be here. Still haven't found chocobos, which is weird. Oh, there's one of the big fellas. I think that's basically that path is blocked until I can beat the big fella off. And sometimes some of these guys, they're just too big. Too big. No real chance of me beating the big fella off. More than 2 hands can handle, I think. Need a much larger army to beat the big fella off. Oh, did I see the little flicker of a treasure chest? Yes, I did. Except it's not where I need to be. Or it's not where... It's It's not where I am. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh, hello. Well, they just appeared from nowhere. Also, can't actually access it through that area. I mean, in fairness, it didn't look like a hugely high area. Goblins and dogs. We should be able to beat goblins and dogs, especially goblins and dogs that are fighting each other. Because usually that means they start at half health. Gorgonopsids. We'll take you two down first, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I'll tell you what. We'll tackle one Gorgonopsid, then we'll focus our fight on the goblins, just in case they start hitting each other. I can't know. It might have been easier just to start with the goblins immediately, because the dogs would have helped me, theoretically at least. Because I do like that. I really like the fact they introduced that to Monster Hunter Worlds. I think that really cemented Monster Hunter Worlds. Now, granted, the newest of the Monster Hunter games might be even better, but I think it really cemented Monster Hunter Worlds as probably the best Monster Hunter I've ever played, certainly. Was the fact that they had that interaction. If you've never played Monster Hunter Worlds, I would highly recommend it for starters, and I will just sort of go into slightly more detail just in case. But basically, in the world, in the sort of map you're on, multiple different giant monsters can appear at any given time, and usually you're only hunting one of the group of monsters that can appear. Sometimes you're hunting more than one. You know, not guarantee it's just the one, but most of the time you're only hunting one. But if two giant monsters end up in the same area at the same time, there is a chance that they will start clashing, and it's a really nice extra, because A, it helps you distinctly with the kicking the shit out of the monster you're trying to hunt, because obviously they do damage to each other. They do. You said do. They do damage to one another, and it's a spectacle to see as well. It's beautiful to behold it, and as I say, it just adds that little extra level of depth to the world that makes it really satisfying. Now, I must admit, I wasn't expecting this dog to trouble me, but I think this dog might be proving troublesome, because that claw is nasty. Quite a lot of damage. We have faced one before. I think it was originally a boss though, so you know, I guess it's not that surprising that it's putting up a bit of a fight. But all we can do really is hope that Hope can keep up the healing, and hope that we can dish out enough damage to kill it. I think we might have a little bit of bullying for a moment or two. Curse. Gonna try and curse you real good. Are you immune to slow? Yes. Or is that stop? Can't tell which icon that is now. I think the fact that it's got a downward arrow means that's slow, and the fact that Fang is not doing curse slow makes me think, yeah, she's only doing curse, which makes me think the auto battle is smart enough to know that slow would do nothing. You were very slow on that one. I know, well, what can I say? Fang inflicted the slow status ailment on me. I think she did it from about 20 years ago, and it's never healed. Never found a suitable person to cast a sooner on my slow brain. Unfortunately, I suspect my animal handling is quite low. I could technically... Oh, okay, I can't anymore. I put them away. Yeah. Can I feel my way to a D20? No, that's a D12. Is that a D20? No, that's a D100. No, that's a D6. Didn't even need to look at that one. I knew it was a D6. What's that one? D10. Of course it is. I mean, it's actually genuinely quite amazing that the D20... There it is. Right, hang on. Oh, I got a 19. Flat. Got a base 19 on my animal handling skill, so I think, actually, I just won the battle with 5 stars, so yeah, that makes sense. Took a bit too long to get to that that end gag, didn't it? Considering I couldn't find the sodding dice. But yeah, I literally just the other day, I've had them sort of lying on top of my old computer for ages and ages, and just the other day I end up putting them away, and lo and behold, I suddenly find a reason to actually have it. Restores a small amount of ATB each enemy. See, that's just not like. It's okay if it's like a huge horde of monsters, of course, but it's not that often you get a horde of monsters. So the idea of getting a tiny bit of ATB when an enemy's defeated, it's pathetic. Or useless. Absolutely useless. I suppose again, I don't think I've ever really delved into upgrading accessories. And maybe that's I've put myself at a humongous detriment by doing that. But I don't know. Now, can I bypass the big fella? So as I've said before, if I even remotely tangle with a big fella there, I will get fucked up. Just almost instantaneously. I'm fairly certain it is literally he just stomps his big foot and boom, dead. Which is problematic. Oh, there is a save point though, which is I kind of want to do a little bit more. Is that the one? Have we already seen? Oh no, I think both paths maybe. Yeah, both paths here. You can only get down here, I think, if you can beat the big fellas. And at the moment, there's no real chance of me beating the big fella. It felt like I heard a treasure chest whirling around, but I'm thinking the answer to that is no, probably not. So yeah, there's a whole section there that I can't deal with at the moment. I mean, I suppose technically I could try and have a go at one of the big fellas, but the fact that I struggled on one of those small shelled lizards makes me disinclined, to say the least, when it comes to actually sort of trying to pop on and do it. As I say, eventually you can beat the big chunky boys, but to a certain extent, I'll tell you what, we'll deal with Crystariums in a moment or two. What I want to do first is I spotted on the map, or we might be attacked by a bird first. Spotted on the map, if you look, centre of the map there's a shiny doodad, and I'm kind of trying to try my best to intercept that and find out what it is. It might not be of any significance or any consequence to me at the moment, but then again, there is every possibility. Where the hell are we? I don't know. I've lost my icon. Where's my little arrow gone? There it is. No, yes, right. That's why I don't often have auto-rotate on a map, because on some occasions it's more trouble than it's worth. It's lovely. It's a lovely idea, the idea of sort of having the map rotate as you go, but to a certain extent it can sometimes also be a pain in the arse. Because you sort of suddenly realise, oh dear, that is quite a lot of Gorgonopsids. I mean, I'm umming and ahhing as to whether I should fight it. And the answer is I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to. Right. I mean, standard fare. Take down the Gorgonopsids, they're weaker. And then once I've taken down the Gorgonopsids, focus fire on the big fella. And I don't know. I don't immediately recognise the idea that the big fella can summon extra oh, for fuck's sake. Hope. You utter penis. Renew. Carry on killing Gorgonopsids. The reason why I bias Renew is because it's easier to replenish TP than it is to replenish Phoenix Downs. Although, having said that, it's not that difficult to replenish Phoenix Downs. I don't know. I don't use items. We've been through this many a time before. I just can't do it. I know it's silly. Do we have an alternate synergy one? No, we don't. Maybe that would be something to look into, but at the moment, unfortunately, I want the synergist to be doing his job, but the sabotage the saboteur, even, is technically what I was trying to get at. The sabotage is unfortunately wasted because he's only got the one weakness that Fang can take advantage of, and he's clearly heavily resistant to taking that thing. Curse. Taking the curse, he's very resistant to. Not like proper immune, but clearly very resistant to the idea of accepting a curse upon him, upon his person. I suppose arguably most people don't accept a curse. Or at least they don't just sort of willingly go, yeah, go on, curse me, go on, I'm fine with it. I look forward to it. Whoops, I accidentally flexed my finger, and my finger went and pushed the button, as it seems to often do, especially in this game. I don't know why. Must be the way I'm sitting, perhaps, I don't know. 5 stars, nice. Yeah, you disappear, you little bitch. You have just been owned. And I only had to pay 5 pence for the right to own your face. Examine the statue. Number 11? Number 11! Nice! The Adroa. My focus this time appears to be dispatching an Adroa. Adroa. There's no N in it. I keep putting an N in it. On the Archhilt step. I don't know how many years have passed since the fallacy last called upon me, but there seem to be more beasts about. Not that it matters. Provided I can complete my focus and retain my master's favour, I will never die. And a little hardship is a small price to pay for an eternity of peaceful dreaming. Take on the mission. Yes, please. We were looking for numero 11. Now, where are you? It said the Archhilt step, didn't it? Oh, you're over there. Blimey, you're miles away. Fuck me. Why you got to do it all the way over there? But it's weird, of course, because we did discuss the idea that goblins are in trousers as well. But if you look at the behemoths are in sort of jorts as well. Jean shorts. Jorts. If you were wondering what a jort was. Yeah, 2 of them. Yeah. 2 of them might have been a bad idea. In fairness, one of them is usually a bad idea. 2 of them, definitely might have gotten a bit up myself there. Because I sort of knew that I was going to be facing 2 of them, and I still did it. I was hoping for the back attack, of course, but yeah. Actually, they're not really jeans, are they? They're more leather, I think. So they're almost lederhosen. These guys, they've got their lederhosen on. Their leather hoses. Their hoses are pressed up against the leather. But it is very peculiar that Behemoth Kings, apparently, as feral wild beasts, they've decided the one thing they definitely want is to cover up their manhood, or their beasthood, I suppose, technically, by utilising leather shorts. I suppose, arguably, I'll have a look. I might have a look at the information, see if there is any available. But I do wonder if maybe... Because obviously Seath are supposed to turn into beasts, but not necessarily this sort of beast, I don't think, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to happen. Hope, you've actually got Rays, haven't you? Yeah, good lad. But yeah, now I've faced off against the Behemoth King. Now the Behemoth King's transformed, and I'm having to face off against the Behemoth King a second time. The same Behemoth King a second time. That's the biggest problem. And now we kind of have to defeat it. It's a problem. It's a fucking huge problem, actually. I think I've probably lost this battle, which makes me almost inclined to perhaps just go, I'll just restart and not do this fight. But I feel like I've almost come too far, but it does feel like I've come so far, and in the end it didn't matter. Because unfortunately, Behemoth Kings, fucking bastards. So we're going to skip past these 2 this time. Well, I think we are anyway. Yeah, we're fine. We went a little bit closer to their perimeter than I'd intended to. Right, so I think at this point we kind of managed to get to a state where we've kind of been everywhere. Oh, bloody Behemoth King. In fact, I think that's another 2 Behemoth Kings. Whoa, hello. Okay. Apparently they are just roaming around in pairs now. Oh dear, get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. A little quicker, a little quicker. There we go. Oh. They let me see the treasure chest. And then they revealed the Behemoths. Okay. No, I think double Behemoth is outside of my capacity at the moment. I'm hoping to just skirt past this fella. Good. And now skirt past the other 2. Single Behemoth, not too bad. Especially single Behemoth from behind, not too bad. Double Behemoth from behind, plausible. Single Behemoth from the front, not too bad. Double Behemoth, absolute no. Let's just trash these guys because they're easy. And then we'll try, I don't know. I mean, I need to try and head towards a save point at some point in the not too distant future. So we'll try and assess where the closest save point is, and then we'll probably leave that sort of a drawer thing. We'll leave till next week. And unfortunately, next week will be more just random wandering around. It's not the greatest of scenarios, I'm afraid, but it's kind of, we're at that point where wandering around is kind of the dish of the day. And so it's kind of alright for me, but I imagine it gets a little bit boring visually because it's all the same enemies and all the same gameplay. Which, as I say, for me it's not, to be perfectly honest, I'm pretty immunised against it. I've been playing turn-based RPGs for most of my years, so it's kind of like, yep, this is just par for the course. This is what you do. You wander around, you fight some things, you fight some more things, and then you fight more things on top of the things you've already fought. I think maybe, because that'll get me in line with it, so I think the map is slightly, it's not misleading as such, but the places are closer than you think here. We might as well tackle those goblins because they're not going to be too troublesome, especially if I can get the back attack. I genuinely wasn't expecting, because one of them was, in fairness, watching me sneak up on his friend. I suppose that's the problem, isn't it? You can't trust a goblin, and if you can't trust a goblin, who can you trust? Anybody who's not a goblin. That's fair. That's a fair point. Well made. Nice. Slicey dicey. Oh, I've just realised, yeah, Fang only has 4 ATB segments. How long have you been playing as Fang? A good hour. And you've only just noticed that? Yeah. Observant, aren't you? Yeah. Very, very observant. But I think we're actually running surprisingly low on people who have only got 4 ATB segments. I'm fairly certain the norm nowadays is 5. Because I'm fairly certain Lightning's got the 5. Hope, I'm pretty certain, doesn't have 5, but everybody else I'm fairly certain does. The only people lagging behind, unfortunately, are Fang and Hope. And I've put them in the bloody party. Absolutely useless. Right, there we go. If we just veer off slightly. It's difficult to know precisely where the flying enemies are going to end up being in terms of where they might swoop down and try and have a go. Also, I might end up running into running enemies, of course. Oh, that's a shame. I mean, I saw the warning come up at the last minute, but I really thought maybe they were going to give me the back attack on that occasion. But as I say, technically, as specified, I saw the warning come up, so it's not unreasonable that they clearly did, see me, as it were. But even having seen me, I don't think they're going to put up much of a fight. It's a lot easier if I get the stagger immediately, but at the end of the day, it's not. It's of little consequence, and let's slice and dice and blitz and I don't know, blitz and bits, blitz and tits. Can't think of any other words that rhyme. Gits. Blitz and Gits. That's if you're playing Warhammer 40k. The old Gits. Knobs and Gits. That's what you need. Or any of the other ones that feature orcs, I suppose. Blood Bowl, I think you get... I think they use the Gits as one of the team names. Unfortunately, I was a bit slow on the uptake, but I still had hope as a medic. But you know, I've killed 6 patients and maimed several more, so I don't think there's much more. There's no more hope of me being a medic. Blips and chits. Ooh, chits is a good one. Have you got your chit? Have you got your chits ready? It's like a sort of like a ticket, I believe, a chit. But I might be mistaken on that one. I veered off my plan. And you don't want to veer off the plan. I think on this occasion we'll beeline for the plan, although having said that we do actually have to go round, so fuck it, we'll take down the Gorgonospids. I wasn't 100% planning on doing this, but I have to go round the hole. Or at least I'm fairly confident I have to go round the hole. There's every possibility I could jump over the hole, but I'm not 100% convinced of it. Around the hole. Everybody needs to go around the hole. Don't go through the hole, look around the hole. Don't look in the hole. You won't like what you see in the hole. Especially if you're looking directly in the hole, you'll definitely not like what you see. Because it's what's in the hole is coming out of the hole quickly. Right. Around the gap. Oh. No, I was wrong. I could just jump it. I didn't know that, did I? See what I mean? Now I'm perfectly willing to state the map is misleading on this occasion. Previously I was giving it the benefit of the doubt, but on this occasion, no. The map is misleading. It made it look like a massive great hole that wouldn't be traversable, when it turns out, no, it's fine. So Sentinel we appear to have done. Synergist you can't do. Saboteur, but Commando is more her thing. Especially, although abilities, getting more Saboteur abilities might not go amiss. But it might be worthwhile. Yeah, ATB level I think is probably the best bet. So we'll focus. Oh, there it is. Literally just caught it. So I suppose I could veer off, but I think it's worthwhile just finishing off her Commando levels. Jeopardize, eh? Boost chain bonus of a staggered target upon attacking. Okay, cool. Again, it's another one of those ones where it's just automatic. It's a thing that happens. So I don't actually have to worry about it. Just double check all the numbers in case I missed something. No, we can actually move on to Saboteur after all. And currently, I think Saboteur is... Oh, Saboteur's just hit level 3, but it's still rocking and rolling quite quickly. So Fogger. Oh, yes, of course, yes. Because we've intentionally gone anti-Fogger for Vanille. Because she needs to be able to cast spells, but... Yeah, it's interesting, because we have started having some overlap in the Synergists. Whereas with the Saboteurs, we have still not quite caught the overlap. Where, you know, Fang will start learning Vanille's manoeuvres and Vanille will start learning Fang's manoeuvres. We've still not caught that, because Vanille, I don't think, has gotten anywhere near Fogger. Although I think they both have Dispel, in fairness, but Dispel is a fairly standard... It's a standard spell rather than a slightly complex one, I think. Okay, so that's Medic done. That's Synergist done. So back to Ravager for you. Good lad. My roll level has increased. I can now make cheese, ham, and egg if I want to. And of course I can get quite a lot of these because at this point in time, because it's not level 4 yet, it doesn't take a huge amount of points to crack down through the old levels, the pathways, whatever you want to call them. But just in case you are interested, because you said, you know, earlier when I was doing this Crystarium, you said about sort of not necessarily fully understanding what you were seeing. I can to a certain extent go through it. It doesn't make that much difference, but basically these nodes increase your stats, and what you have to do is you have to sort of basically charge the crystal, as it were, and light up the paths to unlock the nodes in order to upgrade the stats. So you can see here what we're looking at getting is strength plus 20. So you hold the button, you go off in a direction, it charges through the path, and as long as you've got enough CP to make the path, you get the stat buff. And bing! So every time it goes ding, I'm getting slightly stronger. And we all like a good slightly stronger ding. Medic, level doodah. And as you can see, dependent on what you're going for and where you are, some of these bars go very, very quickly. So these sort of strings here are going quite quickly. Now it's slightly slower, and if I get a higher level of medic, it will be even slower. So it's not too complicated in terms of actually doing it. It's not too complicated because it's literally just holding the button and letting it run. The only real thing you have to make a decision here is, so I've completed Sentinel. Now here, technically, I've got a decision to make. Do I want to spend my CP in Ravager or Commando? Or do I want to start learning Saboteur, Synergy or Medic moves for Snow? The answer for me, I think, is I want to focus on Ravager at the moment. So I'm going to put everything in Ravager. Now you could split it up. You know, you don't have to spend all your points. If I wanted to, I could do a couple in there, pop out to Commando, do one in Commando. I've got Jeopardize now, as opposed to having Leopardize. But I like to, I don't know, I prefer just finishing them off, to be honest. Focus on their specialties, which is why I went Sentinel for Snow, or focus on what they do the most, I suppose, because technically Vanille is a specialist in sabotage, but I tend to bias her medic role because she makes for a better medic than basically anybody else. Which is why medic is finished, but saboteur is my next path I'm taking. So again, we just sort of hold the button. It's pretty much automatic. There's almost an argument that says why make a player push a button, but I suppose it's that engagement factor. And now we're going to focus on Ravager, because when she's not healing and sabotaging, she does make for a very good Ravager because she has a very strong will. She's a strong, independent woman with a very strong will. No, she's got a very strong magic stat, which is why she's quite so good in battle, really. She is one of the better characters, as much as I sort of dislike her for being happy. Which is a hell of a statement, but nonetheless true. I dislike her for being quite so happy, but she does make for a hell of a combatant. I think the three best combatants in this game, if I had to choose like my dream golden team, it's probably Snow, Vanille and Zaz. Zaz is so useful with his synergy, and it makes for a very strong both Commando and Ravager he can cover. Snow, I think, is probably the better Sentinel. But having said that, Fang, Vanille and Zaz is probably one of the better combos, because Fang does good enough as a Sentinel whilst also being very good as a Commando. Whereas Snow, he's not that good at Commando. He's not bad, but he's not that good at it. Which means if you're using Zaz, who kind of specialises in ravaging, I mean, look at him. The man is delicious. Of course he specialises in ravaging. But no, he doesn't do that well. Zaz biases Ravager as well, which is the problem of having Zaz and Snow in the same battle team. As much as I like them both in the same battle team, it is technically a problem because they kind of double Ravager, which is not necessarily what you want for those two, because if you've also got Vanille, she's a Ravager. But basically, Snow, Vanille and Zaz in a team is pretty much magic, which is not... It's not an optimal decision to go all magic users. You do want some of that physical attack strength, which is why I'd possibly, as much as I love Snow as a character, I'd possibly bias Fang as my sentinel of choice, because she does do quite a decent double duty as a commando. However, pure defense, Snow is your boy. Snow is the daddy. Maybe don't say the word daddy. Yeah, probably wise. Right. So, first of our triple save combo. Wait for it. Second of our triple save combo. You may be wondering, why do you do a triple save combo? I don't know, is the honest answer. Well, I sort of know. So I like to have a backup save. And I like to rotate said backup save. And then I also like to have the save 1 as the first position in the line of saves. Which is why you save it once in save slot 1. That's your main save. Then you do your backup save, but the backup save then takes the prime position. So you need to then resave over save slot 1. And that's why it ends up being a triple save combo. Why don't you just skip the first one and then it can be a double save combo? My God. He's fucking right. He's fucking right. If I just skip doing the first save, I could just skip straight to the backup save and then go back to the first save. And it would work. It would work. Oh, there's massages. Oh, interesting massages. Oh, I'll read that a little bit closer in a moment or two, when I'm not meant to be doing something else entirely. But anyway, right, there we go. That's everything. We've done a little bit more of Final Fantasy XIII. Oh yes, we have. And now let's see if there's anything worth raiding into today. I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. Oh, are you actually? Oh, what are you doing? Let's look in on that one, maybe. Yeah, let's look in on this one. Try and get it muted immediately. See what they're actually playing. Oh, that's annoying. Just give me a moment. I'm watching an advert for bloody fucking Audible again. The only reason I say that is because it's always bloody Audible. God, I mean, I hate adverts at the best of times, but when it's the same pissing advert every bloody time, it gets even more tiresome. Anyway, well, I'll just try and double check. Oh, it is just X-Wing. Okay, that's fair enough. It's just surprising that it's written as board games and not X-Wing. But yeah, X-Wing will do nicely. I'm sure we might as well pop in. Although, having said that, it depends on how many people are here. According to the stats, it's just Mr. Boosh and Skink, so I don't know. Might as well. Fuck it. We'll see what happens. So, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There you go. There you are. That one will do. So yeah, we'll get the raid started, and then I will do the usual, which is I will be back Monday. Yeah, I really need to figure out what Monday's going to be, or possibly just cancel it. I don't know, but we'll probably do something Monday. I still haven't finished the sound design for the Star Wars intro, so maybe it'll be a bit more of that. I said I was going to animate that pixel image of Can't Sleep Must Paint. Damn it. Can't Sleep Must Paint. I might give that a little bit of animation. And by a little bit, I mean I might make the wheel spin and the beard move. That's it. Nothing too spectacular. But it might just give a little bit of motion so they can be driven across a screen or something. And then, I don't know, there's also, I want to do more 3D stuff. But, yeah, I don't know what is the problem. Anyway, we're running distinctly out of time. Probably be back Monday, 4:30 BST. Then Wednesday, 4:30 BST. That might be the new Don't Starve. I haven't really made the decision yet. I don't know. And then Thursday, 9 o'clock BST. For Dragon Quest Builders 2. So I will say, cheerio. Join me again, perhaps. 10, 9. We're going to do it now. Cheerio.